I'm like just straight up. I don't see a world where his head's not like off his body. Next,
Whose army do I trust? I mean, like, I don't trust anyone in this show.
The whole
I think
point
that's
of
just
it.
nature.
this fucking guy close. Jack Sparrow type fucking shit. Captain Barbosa type fucking shit. Dude,
Let me
Yeah.
take the fucking.
let me take the fucking wheel. Literally.
That's right. Decisions, I feel like.
15-year-old who discovered Pornhub.com.
Yeah, I think going too low and he gets caught, and he ends up getting flipped. But the context is a little bit different.
And this time, Moon Dancer Bela cannot see him. I like when I saw Jace getting flipped. Like I didn't feel bad for him. Honestly, I didn't really feel bad for. I didn't really feel like Robb Stark died. Like, dude, that
Oh my God.
crushed my soul. Ned Stark dying. All right, friends, welcome. Our first podcast here, House of the Dragon themed podcast, House of Potatas. I'm here with my good friends here, Scotty P and Joe Potatoes. We're going to be
How you
breaking
doing?
down the first episode, kind of like our thoughts about the characters, some things that happened. One of us has read the book, two of us have not. We have different perspectives, but we're going to be able to break it down for you. Let's see what we can do. All right. So, first things first, I think we should just start with give me like 3 words. Your 3 words that you would
3 words.
describe like your reaction from the first episode. Just 3 words. Start us off, Potatoes.
I have a lot of words. I don't know if I can narrow it
You
down.
would just pick
Just
3. The first 3 that come to your mind. 1, 2, 3, go.
Battle of Gullet.
Battle
That's
of
it. I
Gullet.
mean, that's just
There
you
that's just
go.
what it is.
Scott.
Let's see. I would say is over. Is over eager a word?
It's a phrase.
That is
We'll
a
go with
word.
that. What's one?
Perfect. Over eager.
We're off to a hot
Intense.
start here.
Yeah. Intense and cheap.
What was it?
Cheap.
Cheap.
Sheep.
Interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. For me, intrigued. I'm very intrigued on the way that this season is starting out. I'm interested. Like this it drew me in even more than compared to the way that the last season ended. And wild. That's 3 simple words right there. Just that whole first episode, just the way it all played out. Like I couldn't have predicted it. Some of it I could have predicted, but first thing we talk about, I guess, is kind of where we came from. Last season was underwhelming. Would you not agree?
I would agree.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
underwhelming.
agree.
It wasn't terrible. It had its moments.
It wasn't bad, but like this episode should have been episode 9 of last season.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Yeah,
say too.
yeah,
It was
they really
It
should have
was
done that. 'Cause the
these first 2 are supposed to be the last 2, right?
Yeah, well, like HBO cut it from 10 episodes to 8, so it's like
Yeah, that's true. First season had 10.
like
Second one had
yeah,
8.
I mean, the last season definitely kind of ended in a weird spot, but it was, whatever. We're back. We're back now, so
Yeah, we're back.
it's fine.
Another fucking Valarian fucking goes down. They're dropping like flies. They really are dropping like flies. All of them. I
Yeah,
forgot
the
actually. There's
strong boys are getting cooked out here.
the strong. I was thinking. I forgot that the Joffrey is also Valarian too. Forgot about that. The young one. I forgot how. I
Yes.
don't know how old he is.
Yeah, that's correct.
I think they're
He's very
gonna.
young, right? Isn't he
He's
still like a
young. His dragon is Viseria or something like that, or like something with a T, I think. Tyraxis. That's his dragon's name. I think
Okay.
he's like. I think they said he's like a hatchling. He's like smaller than Vermac or something like that.
Okay, so
I
he's a
don't
little
know.
baby.
There's a lot of fucking dragons.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of
there
them.
is, especially on the black side.
But in terms of characters, obviously the biggest thing was Jace got clipped. Jace got clipped,
Yeah, I mean that was the big takeaway from it. Very sad.
and
I think he was very
what was
overeager.
it though?
I
He
mean,
was he was very horny for war. I will say he
yes,
got what he wanted. He got what he wanted.
He was
It-
crazy, dude. Like I was
Not the
telling
battle he wanted, not the outcome, but
Sarah, like when I was watching it the third time around, and like the look in his eyes when he's talking to Bela, and like dude, he looks like a crazy person. Like he literally looks
crazy person.
he's going insane, genuinely.
yeah, He just has like he has that bloodlust that he just wants to get into battle, just experience it, get a win for his mom. But it just completely backfires.
Poor
I mean,
Bela.
obviously,
Poor
yeah. I
Bela too.
mean,
She's queen. She's gonna be
yeah.
queen, future queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and just like that, her betrothed
I feel like
dead.
I feel like Jace just was like I feel like because the whole like Rhaenyra, like he kept trying to protect Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra wants to fight, but Jace is like, well, but if you die, then like the war is over.
Yeah, then everything's done.
So, but Rhaenyra also wants to protect Jace because she doesn't want to lose another son. So I
Mm,
feel like she was kind of holding him back in a sense, and I think Jace kind of got frustrated by that, and he was just like, fuck it, like I'm out, I'm going,
mm.
like
Yeah.
Interesting. It leads me to the
so.
question that Sarah asked me that I thought was a great question. Kind of two-parter. A, how do you feel about what Sir Laurent did, keeping Rhaenyra locked up? Like, did you think that that was the right thing to do for him? And then, what do you think she's gonna do to him when she gets out and she finds out that her kid's dead?
I think it's a hard decision to make on his part because he wants to listen to Rhaenyra obviously, but then Jace is like, listen, you need to like do this for me. And he's like, but the queen. He's like, no, 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 no. He's like, you're gonna do this for me right now. So, tough choice on his. Was it the right choice? I mean, obviously, no. Um, and I think what's gonna happen to him. I'm trying to think if Rhaenyra would actually like just take a sword to his head and just cut his head off. I really don't think she would do that. I
Oh,
don't know. I think he is.
I think it's a possibility.
I don't really know because Damon can come in and be like, "Yo, what the fuck did you do? Like, you fucked
She's
up," and he can get pissed. So I'm not really sure honestly. That's a very open ended question in my opinion. I'm not sure.
she's worked up though.
I think
Yeah,
She's worked up.
she's definitely. I mean, yeah. I would say she's definitely worked up. I think that it's interesting because it's like Jace is kind of using the oath of the Queen's Guard against the Queen's Guard in a
yeah,
sense, where he like because I think there's uh there's a big gender component to it because Rhaenyra as a woman, as a queen, like if that was a king, if that was like Jace's dad, if that was like let's say like hypothetically if that was Harwin Strong,
Hmm.
if or whatever, if it was a king and the king was like, I'm gonna go ride into battle, nobody would question that. Like
Yeah,
no,
like
that's so
everybody
true.
like
yeah,
nobody would question that. Like the king would just go, and everybody would like, yeah, let's go fight for our king. But I think the fact that so I think that there's a little bit of a gender component in it. But before, like I also think there's a element of like Jason's a little horny for battle,
yeah.
and and it kind of backfires. But as far as Sir Laurent, like what's gonna happen to him, I don't know because I think that in some ways he is fulfilling his oath in a way because he's protecting the queen from herself, you know. So it's a weird thing because it's like it Jace kind of just uses the oath against him there. But as far as what's gonna happen to him, I don't know. I think Rhaenyra's gonna be pretty pissed. That's for sure. She might have his head. I don't know. I don't know. She said
Yeah.
she was yelling. She when she was banging on the door. She was like, "I'll have your head for this."
Generally, I'm like just straight up. I don't see a world where his head's not like off his body. Next episode, if I'm being honest with you, like I get all that, and I'm not saying what he maybe did was the morally wrong thing to do, but he swore an oath. Like, and I know like that's the
He swore an
prince.
oath to protect the queen,
He
which
swore
he
an
did.
oath. He did, but he's supposed to listen to her though. Like that's the queen. Like you know what I mean. Like and if it was a little bit again, same
Well,
kind of thing.
that's
If that
why.
was a
Yeah.
king, if that, but
Yes.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
forget it about it, her not being a king in a sense of like going to battle, but in the sense of like, could you imagine of somebody in the king's guard just disobeying what the king says to do, just in general? whatever it may be. That would not go very often. Not
Yeah,
not
they'd
go
have
very
his head.
well. So I don't know.
That's why I think
I
Sir
think he's
Lawrence in a tough
clipped. I think
spot.
he's clipped, and I think I think he knows that though. I think he's okay with that because I do think he thinks that he's protecting her, which he is in a way, right? And who knows? Maybe she would have gone clipped. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I also
I
just
think
think
he
that it was tough. It
I
was a tough
just think
situation.
I think he was just I think he was a little confused. I think he didn't really know what to do because he was like you kind of see it in the I don't know the name of that actor, but you kind of see it in his performance where when Rhaenyra is kind of banging on the door, like telling him to let her out, and you could see it on his face that he's flustered, like he doesn't,
Yeah.
because he's like on the one hand, is like, do I listen to Jace or because he's like, I think he's thinking about his oath in his head, and he's just like, what do I do? But obviously he doesn't let her out, and Jace ultimately pays the price.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was very, 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 very sad either way. I hate to see Jace go. He was Damon left him as the man of the house, and
Fucking bring
rip.
that shit down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm curious.
he's clipped.
What do
He's
you guys think
clipped.
of Aegon right now?
That scene was that was one of my favorite scenes of the episode with him and
Laris.
Varys.
He's cooking something
Foot
up.
Fetish Laris.
He's
Yep.
cooking
Him and Foot Fetish
something.
Laris. They're like Laris is like trying to easel their way out of that situation, and then obviously Aegon refuses to kneel, and then Laris is like he just outs him as
Just
Aegon, like, right?
completely
Well,
He's just
exposes him.
I
like
think he had
completely
no choice.
exposes him.
Like,
Yeah,
would you
no,
say? I don't
I
think he
know,
did.
but it's just
Like,
funny how that went down.
yeah,
It's funny how that
that's
went
all he
down.
really had to do.
Yeah, it was
It's
He
so
just
so
funny.
outed him. He was like,
that
Oh,
and then
leaves.
Aegon's like, like, what the fuck are you talking about,
yeah,
dude?"
fucking screaming and
Yeah,
shit. He was fucking
like,
mad. And then the fucking two guys behind him, he was like, "Yeah, don't mind them. They can die. Who cares about them?"
yeah,
Leads
he's
me
like,
to a
"Fuck those
question.
guys. You can kill them if you want." Yeah.
Do you guys think that Aegon's gonna make it to Rhaenyra?
Oof. Um, I would I would say yeah, just because of the way Laris was convincing the guards, like, hey, if you take Aegon to Rhaenyra, then it could be something in it for you guys, And they're like, oh, I think he'll make it there. They might get attacked on the way. Who knows they're gonna run into. I don't know. I'll say he'll make it.
I would say that I mean, as a book reader,
Ah shit, yeah. Well,
but, the thing is, like, they've changed so much from the book that, like, I don't even know if me being a book reader matters
matters.
anymore.
Yeah.
Um, but I would say I think ultimately Aegon is going to get back into the Game of Thrones. Like, I think
Interesting.
I wonder if you guys think, like, it almost feels to me that they're kinda setting up a little Return of the King action, a
Ooh,
little a little redemption arc for Aegon. I wonder if this is the beginning of a little, Aegon's gonna make a comeback.
I like
What do you
that.
guys think about that?
I don't. I think he might try. Maybe I just think he's just it. Maybe if nobody sees him, like I feel like you take a if they people took a look at him and saw him, like because again, obviously being a man gives you more of a right back then to being the king, and people want a king to be a male. They've seen as stronger, but like imagine looking at him like kind of the like FDR, right? They didn't really want him to be
It's
seen
based
as
on
weak,
medieval
and
it's
yeah,
based on
like
medieval
that's
history.
is perceived
Yeah.
as weak. So if they saw him, they're gonna be like, why would we want to fight for this fucking cripple? I'm not saying that's right, but that's kind of the way that they'd be looking at it in my eyes, right?
Yeah, and I
I
feel
mean, he
like
could
too,
still
like,
walk though. Like, I mean, he
yeah,
could still recover, you know? I mean, the fact that he's lost his dragon is obviously a
that's what I was
problem.
about to say too. Like he lost his dragon in that unfortunate events with Aemond. But I think I sort of agree with it. Like I feel like I agree a little bit with like both of you. I mean, I can definitely see a return of the king sort of thing, but I can also see, he lost his dragon. He's beat up, needs recovery. His people actually gonna look up to him. and be like, this is our king. Like, let's fucking go. Like, who knows? I don't know. Just gotta wait and see.
Yeah.
He's such a cunt though,
No,
Aegon.
yeah,
Sorry,
Yeah,
he,
I'm
he is a
he is.
little
sorry
cunt.
for excuse the language, but it really is. That guy, Tom Glencairn, the name of the actor. He's so good. He's
Yeah,
so
no,
good
he
in
is
that
good.
role.
He is
Like
good.
he
Definitely a good
plays it
actor.
so good. But he's just you got these Targaryens, just a bunch of inbreds, dude. Like they're just a
Dude,
bunch of incest babies that are just insane.
Yeah.
You know?
talk about going from I obviously with the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, there was a couple scenes, especially to start off the show, just like people taking shits, people cocks out and stuff like
Taking
that.
shits, just
But I just
dicks
loved
out.
how they
Oh
go
yeah.
from we have a son fucking kissing his mom, and then the next scene is just fucking Ulf just
Yeah, we
fucking
should talk.
dropping a load, like the
Yeah,
Yeah.
scene right
Let's.
after.
Yeah.
we
Let's
should
let's
Um,
talk
probably talk
about that a
about
little
that
bit.
scene.
Let's talk
That's a
so
about
good
that
let's
segue.
specific
backtrack.
scene.
Let's backtrack. We'll get there.
Oh,
Let's talk about
backtrack.
them. Let's talk about the two of them leading up to that, and then to that.
Okay.
Like, so she comes back, right? She's now told Rhaenyra, like, "Hey,
Mhm.
gonna fucking let you guys in when he's gonna be the fuck out of there." She comes back. Fucking Aegon's gone. He's fucking pieced out of there, and she's talking to fucking Aemon.
Yep.
I could
On the
just tell
throne.
from the get go at that on the throne, Scott. I could just tell like he knew something was up, like, and he knows something's up, and I think
Yeah.
he's
You're
scared.
talking about when she walks into the throne
Throne.
room
They
and he's
start
sitting on the
talking. Yeah,
throne?
he asked
Yeah,
her where she was. Right, she asked her where she was.
right. Yeah.
I don't think he really believes her. Like I think I'm not saying he knows that she went 100% to Rhaenyra. Like, I'm not saying that 100%.
No,
I think
yeah.
maybe, but he knows something's up. She kind of recovered at first. She's like, oh, well, you kind of because he did cast her out at the end of the last season off the council. So she kind of
Which
played it
again
off, which
is,
is true,
that's
which is true.
a
And I think
it's a
she
big
played it
difference from the
off.
books too. Big difference from the book.
How do you think that whole scene started out? Like with that their whole interaction, and then the next time they saw each other was them fucking kissing.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that
I go
I
first.
think that I agree with you. I think Aemon I don't think Aemon like fully buys her story. Agree with that. I don't think I absolutely don't think that he knows though that she went to see Rhaenyra. I think he knows that something's a little off with that, but Allison she kind of saves it a little bit. She kind of saves it. I think Allison is playing on Aemon's emotions a little bit. Because I think Aemon, like we see, remember, I think it was in season 1, the scene in the brothel in King's Landing when Aemon was with like that older woman or whatever,
Yeah,
and
that was the first right.
And then Aegon saw him there and was
Yeah,
laughing at him or
because he's
whatever.
fucking shit faced.
Because I think Aemon, well, I yeah, but I also think like Aemon has this thing where he's looking for like a mother.
Yeah, he's
He's
got
looking for
mommy
like
issues.
yeah, he's got mommy
This is
issues.
literally
He's
straight
got
up.
a
He's
lot
got
of
mommy
Yeah,
issues.
I
It's
think
as
that's what I
simple
think
as
that's
this.
what it is.
It's
Yeah.
literally yeah.
yeah, I think it's Oedipus Rex over here, Aemon
Oh my
Targaryen.
god.
Guy's got mommy issues. But yeah, I don't know. We got that scene. Oh my god. I mean like why is that scene somehow like just more uncomfortable than just like Rhaenyra and Daemon having sex on the beach. Like it's all incest. It all should be
Mm.
uncomfortable. But
Maybe it was a play.
there's something about that scene with Aemond and Allison, and that you sort of see the terror in Allison's eyes, where she's kind of like, damn, I knew Aemond was fucked up, but he's really fucked up.
Oh, gone off the
You
fucking
know, it's
Yeah.
rails.
like yeah,
I really think that
it's
like
crazy.
I really think Allison's like like just the actress is just like so good at portraying that like just instant fear and just utter shock that
It's
he's
true.
actually like
It's true.
making a move on me. Like I'm your goddamn mom, and he's just
But
fucking
was
making
Yeah.
a
he?
move like that. That's just it's crazy. I mean, just to backtrack a little bit, I mean, she said she went to I think her excuse was she went to Kingswood because she
He
Yeah,
went to
said,
the
Kingswood.
Kingswood,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
found myself of little use if you're late."
yeah.
I mean,
right.
it'd be like the way, like, if I was Aemon looking at her, her eyes go like to the ground, back up to him, to the ground, back up to him, and
There's a
she's obviously
pause.
fucking nervous. Like that's obviously not true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And
No,
then
well, yeah.
yeah.
Keep going. No, keep going.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. I mean, it's everything leading up to that scene is just her acting like just very, very sus, very nervous. I mean, if I was Aemon, I would know she's pretty much lying. He might not think it's as big as he's obviously not thinking it's as big as going to Rhaenyra and doing
Hmm.
everything she did, but I got a feeling he knows something's up.
No,
Well,
yeah.
Allison but so Allison, though, is also, like, she's trying to like, she made a deal with Rhaenyra
Yeah.
at the end of
She did.
season 2, right? That
She
she's
did.
basically gonna give the city to Rhaenyra.
Hmm. For
But
Aegon's
that
head.
right, but that plan hinges on, 1, Aegon, right? But Aegon's now gone with
Yep.
Foot Fetish Laris.
Hmm.
Um,
That failed.
but now also the plan also hinges on Aemond not just Aemon, but mainly Vhagar leaving the city
And one other thing,
because
and
what's
the
that?
army coming because there are the fucking
Yes,
Hightower
the
army is
high
coming
towers.
down, but she
Yes.
fucking
Yep.
stopped that
Y
too. So those
15,000.
right,
two, those three things that she basically
right.
offered are almost no longer on the table.
Well, that's the problem. So, like, they need the Team Black needs Vhagar out
Yeah,
of the
that's the big
city.
one.
If they're gonna take the city, because it's like, obviously, Vhagar is Vhagar is a weapon,
Hmm.
you know? Um, but now Aemon's like, "Well, I'm the king now because Aegon is gone. I'm the king. I'm just gonna stay here." And so I think a lot of that stuff, the dynamic with Alicent and Aemond is that Alicent is trying to I think she's kinda trying to play on his mommy issues a little bit
Oh yeah,
to get
Oh, big time.
influence with Aemond to convince Aemond to leave the city because Alicent's stressing that, like, "Yo, I just made this deal, and now it's like now I have
Yep.
all my cards are falling out of the deck right now. Like,
Yeah.
hmm
He's
I gotta
close to
fix this."
folding. Very, very
Right,
close to
she's
folding.
close to folding. Exactly.
Very good.
So
So I think next thing we should talk about is Damon and the Starks
Damon and the
as these next
Yes.
Starks.
scenes.
Yes, let's
Yes.
at the Winter
Um,
Wolves.
I'll start there. That was one of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Hype.
just
Super hype.
getting a little action. Damon and his army. Oscar Tully really intrigues me. Lord of the Riverlands. Something's gonna happen with him. He's definitely somebody that I have my eyes on. But dude, the Starks, dude. The guy I looked up the guy's because they don't say his name in the I don't think they say his name. Or you see the actual guy who comes out throwing Lannister's fucking head. Sir Roderick Dustin. That's
Ooh.
his name.
So can I jump in
Go for
here?
it. Go
Yeah, of
for it.
course, go
So
for it.
I think it's important that we define who the Winter Wolves are. So that's like they're carrying the Stark banner because they're of the North,
Yeah.
obviously. Cregan Stark sent them to
Mm-hmm.
fight, right? That was
Greybeards.
that was the deal. That was the deal that Jace made with him
Mm-hmm.
at the Wall in the beginning of last season,
Yep.
right?
Great scene, by the way.
So the Winter Wolves are basically winter has come in the North.
Mm-hmm.
It is winter there. Obviously, it's much worse in the North, right? So when winter comes in the North, what they do is that they send the winter wolves. These are these older fighters that have no heirs. They're just these older fighters that they can't afford to house and feed during winter, really. So
Mhm.
instead of keeping them in Winterfell or in the north to try to feed them, they just send them off to war. Like, just go make war in the south,
Just go make
whatever.
Damn.
war.
Yeah, that's what they do. They just
Yeah.
like so that's what the winter wolves are. So what was that guy's name again? You said
Sir
What
Roderick
was it?
Dustin. That's his name,
Okay, right. So yeah,
apparently.
so when he says when he pulls up with I think that was Jason Lannister's head, I think.
Yes, that was Jason because
Is that right?
Tylen's
Jason?
the one on the boat. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
We'll get to
Yeah.
Tylen later.
We'll get the
But
Tylen.
yeah, so Jason so he's got Jason's head and he says to Damon, like, we've come to die for the Dragon Queen.
So
He
dope.
doesn't say we've come to fight for the Dragon Queen. He says we've come to die for the Dragon Queen. Because all the Winter Wolves are not expecting to
To
survive.
survive.
They're basically like winter has come and they sent and Cregan Stark sent the Winter Wolves off to war. And the Winter Wolves are basically like they all are expecting to die. So they're just out there, just fighting and they're gonna fight really well because they're Northmen. But
So
they're
sick.
definitely a good ally for Team Black to have, for
Yep.
sure. They're
They
good
got more
fighters.
lions to hunt.
Yeah. So that's the kind of the context of who the Winter Wolves are.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
definitely
love
good
that.
context. Sick.
Anything
I mean,
else on
it
them?
was just hype. No, I mean, it was just hype,
It
honestly.
was a
Like
short
That was a
just the
scene,
good
fact,
obviously. It was
like
a short scene. They didn't have
yeah,
much, but
yeah, it was nice.
Damon
Just
Damon was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" He's
yeah.
like
Oh,
he's
yeah,
like
he
it was
was
yeah.
just like
ready. He was
He was
form up.
ready
ready.
to fight.
Yeah, he was
He
ready
was
to fight
ready to
Yeah,
again.
fight.
Raxus
Yeah,
was getting ready to fucking light them all up in flames.
yeah.
Fucking Jason Lannister is literally a wannabe Jamie Lannister.
Well, Jamie Lannister doesn't exist yet, so
Yes,
I
but
don't think you could
he's a
say that he's a wannabe
he's
Jamie.
a wannabe. That's he like
Jamie's not even alive.
well
Hundreds of years
he
before
doesn't
Jamie.
need to know that. I know that. That's all that matters. He's dead, head chopped off.
Yep.
Like he's not he's for sure just not alive.
Yeah.
Um
Get
That's
the
pretty
three
so there'll be
dragon
more
riders.
there. There'll be more. Where do you think random question?
Hmm?
What do you think their next move is? Like, where do you think they're gonna go next? Like, do you
cool.
think their armies, the Greybeards
Oh,
and the River lands
Mm,
with Damon? Where do you think? So they were. I don't even remember where was that even that battle
I gotta
taking
see like a
they're
place?
map.
fighting they're fighting in the Riverlands.
Just in the
There.
river. There's in the Riverlands. Yeah. Where do you think they go next? Think they go to Dragonstone? Is it King's Landing? Do they go somewhere else?
I think Damon is gonna go I think Damon and his men, they're gonna go back to Dragonstone with Rhaenyra because Rhaenyra also says in the episode to to summon Daemon back to Dragonstone
She did say
so
that.
they can take the city. So I think Daemon's gonna go back to Rhaenyra
Hmm.
and then they're gonna go to King's Landing and take the city. As far as the Winter Wolves and the rest of the Rivermen, they're probably gonna go they're probably gonna go to Harrenhal
Back to
and
Harrenhal.
yeah, they're
Fortified.
or wherever they're probably gonna meet up at some point with Kristen Cole and his forces. And also
Yes.
you also have to remember we haven't even talked about this yet. You have Ormond Hightower
Yeah,
who's on the
we'll get to
march
him.
as well.
He's a
So
character to be. He's someone
I
that's gonna
think
be in play
Damon
soon.
yeah, so I think Damon's gonna take some of his forces back to Dragonstone. They're gonna prepare for an invasion of King's Landing, and you're gonna have the rest of the of the army kind of fighting in the Riverlands and
Mm,
stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like I know like the along with that entire plan of having Damon and Rhaenyra, obviously just taking everyone and just going to um just taking the Red Keep and just taking everything over. Like they needed those boats, and battle the gullet. I mean, just
Yeah.
completely
haven't
destroyed
even
that
gone there
plan.
yet.
Destroyed
N
that plan.
Navy
Um,
took a big hit,
yeah.
that's for
Oh,
sure.
So who knows how that's going to impact their decision and what they're going to do in the future. So
That's true.
yeah.
It's a good point.
How do we
I don't.
feel about why don't we go to the three little fucks who are waiting for
Yeah, yeah,
Vhagar
yeah.
right now? It's
Yep.
Ulf, Hugh,
Ah, yes, the dragon
and Adam
seeds.
Cole. So, how do you feel about each of the characters? A quick little rundown of each character: Ulf, Hugh, and Adam. And then what did you think about like the scenes in general? They had a very small scene, obviously, or two small scenes, and then we'll get to the fucking witch. I have a question about her too.
I like well, I mean, I guess I like them all. Ulf is very fun. Like Ulf is I think Ulf is like very funny and he's a bit of a wild card, I think. But I think Ulf is problematic because I don't think a guy like him can be trusted. Um
In what way? Like being loyal or getting the job done in general?
no, I don't think I don't think he's going to be loyal to Rhaenyra.
Mm.
Like I think that he like Ulf is clearly in this like for the he's kind of in it he's in it for the glory and the titles. Like he want like he was saying in that conversation he was having with Hugh and Adam where he was like, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get a castle." And then they're all like, "No, you're not going to get a castle. You're just going to become a knight." Like
That whole scene
Ulf
was
is
so
trying
funny.
yeah, but Ulf is trying to like improve his like social status. So I think because of that, I think that makes him susceptible to some, traitorous
Yes,
activity.
some different
You know, like I
temptations.
yeah, I think that he can't be trusted. Adam, I think Adam is a pretty honorable guy. I think he will fight for Rhaenyra, especially because he sought Rhaenyra out when he claimed the dragon. Um, I think that conversation that he had with Rhaenyra, during last season, like,
Mhm.
I think Adam is kinda down for the cause, like, I think he's a pretty good man. Um, and Hugh, I think I think Hugh is I think Hugh could be a good man, I'm not really sure I'm not really sure where I land on Hugh, I could kinda see him going either way, but, my big takeaway is I don't think Ulf can be trusted at all, so
Yeah, I think I think Ulf really has, like you said before, like he was talking about becoming a knight and being a castle and everything what a lord usually gets, and obviously he didn't understand that. Like just that fact alone, and that's like the main thing he brought up. I think that goes to show, just like you said, like the temptations are there with Ulf. And I think he's gonna eventually switch up in the end because they might offer him something more. Who knows what they would offer him? But I really don't trust him. As much as I would trust, say, like Adam or Hugh. Again, with Hugh, it seemed like in this specific episode, I know Ulf asked him a question, and then they got disrupted because they heard something or something like that. Um, Definitely curious to hear what he has to say about the cause. So I really need more from Hugh to really understand like how I feel about him. And correct me if I'm
mm.
wrong. He has the biggest dragon, right?
Of the three of them,
Yeah.
he's definitely bigger
Hugh
than and
Isn't
Hugh
he
wait,
has Vermithor,
'cause
right?
Hugh has
yes,
Spermithor,
as
right?
Yeah,
He's
Yeah,
definitely
Vermithor is a
bigger
fucking
than
yes,
giant.
Ulf's.
he's
I
the
don't.
second biggest dragon
He's
behind
bigger than
Vhagar.
C. Yeah, he is. Is
Yeah,
he?
so he's definitely gonna be one of the most important in terms of
Yeah,
dragon size, battle capabilities. Adam I like. He's very calm. I feel like he seems very loyal. Um, Again, I need more from the three of them. The Ulf I definitely do
yeah,
not
I
trust.
agree.
Ulf I definitely do
I
not
wanna be
trust.
clear also, like, I really don't trust any of them, but,
Yeah, yeah,
like, I feel like on the scale, like, it's like Ulf is the least trustworthy, Hugh is, like, in the middle, and I think Adam is probably the most trustworthy as of right now. That's
I
just kinda
agree.
my gut feeling, like, not going on anything, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I really don't think you can truly trust any of them.
I have
This is Game of Thrones. You can't
one
Yeah.
trust
of those three very similar, like the two of you, but I have two slightly little bit of different of a view on the other two. Um, with Adam, I kind of agree. I think he's loyal and honorable guy. I think what worries me is his hatred more for Corliss because of like kind of being just not recognizable, like
Yeah.
recognized by, what he could have been even though he's a bastard. And also probably must be difficult seeing like Jace and Lucerys being fucking bastards and they're still, accepted and,
Yeah, and that
looked
high up.
upon exactly. But Ulf, I'm still weary on Ulf Heat definitely the most, but I think the way that he's acting is a defense mechanism because like he kind of was the one who was always like, oh, like I'm a Targaryen, like I'm so and so's person, and like kind of like oh, if I had this, I would do this, and then it kind of reality hit. Now he's got a dragon. I think he's scared, honestly, and he's just trying to cope with the situation of what's going on. And yes, I do think he wants to raise his status because he's been living definition of what you probably call paycheck to paycheck in terms of fucking, medieval times there. But I also think that he's still appreciative of the opportunity he got from Rhaenyra versus what he had with Aegon. Hugh, I'm telling you right now, there's no way he's gonna be a traitor. I mean, he probably can't stand Aegon because he thinks about like my daughter is dead because we couldn't leave the city because Aegon fucking locked the doors, right? He was one that locked it. Was it Aemon that locked the doors? But under Aegon's like rule, basically.
Oh yeah, who
I think Aemon technically maybe was the one that was like actually
was
in
it? Aemon?
charge. I think it was
I
Aemon.
actually don't remember. It
I'm
was
not
Aemon
sure.
that gave the order.
I think it was. I could be wrong. I thought it was
I
Aemon,
don't
but
remember that.
regardless, he's gonna
I
look at.
remember that
They're
happening, but I
together.
don't
They're the
remember why.
Blacks. They did this, and even more so considering that Aemon's literally the king right now. If it really was him, I don't think he's gonna betray Rhaenyra. I think he kind of is similar kind of thing. He sees the opportunity he was given and where he just came from. He was in front of the king and the king promised him aid, and he did not get that from the king. So I think he's done with them. So I think if anything of all the three of them, he's the most loyal with up there with Adam. And then
You think
also
Hugh is
wild
the
card.
most
I
loyal?
think he was the most loyal in this situation based on it's
Okay.
what the two have done for them compared to what more they could offer. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
could see Adam maybe it being flipped somehow because of Corliss or whatever. Ulf is just a straight up wild card because he's a scared little bitch. Kind of just being honest. Whereas Hugh, I think there is hatred towards one side. You know what I mean? Like Adam is like Adam and Ulf are kind of neutral in this situation because nothing really bad has happened to either of them from either side. You know what I mean? Obviously, one gave them more, but
Yeah.
sometimes when one person gives you one thing and somebody offers you something even more, like a castle,
Yep. That's what
you
I'm
know.
saying.
So I guess we'll
Also,
see.
like you were talking about Dill, you were talking about Ulf. Like you think that like Ulf is like scared. I think you can see in that scene where Ulf is talking about that story, like he's talking about the story
Mm,
from the past. You can see that like when he's talking about like how he kind of finds out that he has dragon's blood or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and you can kind of feel you can kind of hear the pain in his voice, like he's gone through some stuff.
Yeah. Oh
But
yeah. Yes.
but
That
doesn't he?
scene.
But he mentions that he mentions like a witch, right? Or like a red woman from
Something like
Esso.
that. It was a
Yes.
priest, he
Yeah.
said, I think.
I
He said it was a
Priest.
I
priest.
actually
So
I caught that too. Yeah.
He called him a priest, I think. Or a priestess or
a
something.
priestess. Yeah, so I just throwing it out there. Like what if I wonder like what if that was the red woman
I was
from Game
fucking
of
thinking
Thrones?
that too.
Because
Do you think Alice
'cause we
Rivers, the lady who
no,
oh.
not Alistair. I'm talking about Melisandre from Game of Thrones, the red
Yes.
woman.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I
Because
was saying yes, you're saying it like
we
she is her.
know because remember if you remember from Game of Thrones, Red Woman preyed on, like, for example, like, she preyed on Gendry because Gendry had King's blood because he was Robert Baratheon's
Mhm.
bastard. So, like, so she we know, and same with Stannis, like, Stannis was a Baratheon.
Mm.
So we know that the Red Woman kinda, was, like, interested in sort of bloodlines and stuff. And we also know that the Red Woman lived a long time. I
Wait,
think she
Oh yeah,
lived, like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying so you're saying that you think that the priestess that took Ulf was her, is what you're saying, right?
I'm not
No, no, no.
saying, like, I'm posing the question. I'm
I
just
don't
saying, like,
disagree. I didn't even think
what if
about
the
that.
priestess what if the priestess that Ulf is talking about was Melisandre from Game of
And then I'll put you
Thrones?
in just listen, just
Because we
because
because I think I'm pretty sure Melisandre was alive during the Dance of the
she
Dance.
was,
I could be wrong,
she
but I know that
was.
we know that she lived a long time because she had she had the magic
Mhm.
necklace or whatever. Like, we know that she lived a long time.
It was the necklace
So
that made her
I'm
live
just
that
curious.
long.
I'm just like, that's just me kind of, I guess, nerding out a little bit, but
No, I don't
it's
disagree. I was
I
gonna take
think
it
it's just
further.
interesting to think about, you know?
Yeah,
I was
she's probably
thinking for a
several
second
centuries years old.
I was thinking, what if, just
Right.
hypothetically, 'cause again, I don't know how it works, if like the character that is playing Melisandre, like like her form, like I don't know if like that was just her when she was younger, or if it's just like she's not transforming herself or something. But I was thinking like, what if there's a possibility like the girl, the witch, Alice Rivers, like I was thinking, what if that somehow was her, or at least someone in the same kind of same thing, where she's also just like she says she's a witch. We knew Melisandre was a
Yeah,
witch.
so you would think
So I'm
there
not
could
saying
be some sort of
they're
Just there could be a
transfiguration
sorority
parallel.
something.
sisters or something. Maybe I
Um,
don't know,
Yeah,
but I thought it was interesting that like she was there with Damon. She helped him out. She was being a little
mhm.
weird there, and then she just shows up in the fucking middle of the forest and God knows where. I mean, I don't know how far they are from Harrenhal. I don't think she just fucking walked there and stumbled upon them.
Also, speaking of that scene, we should also mention, um, we had another sighting of the Green Men during that scene, the
Yeah,
guy on top of the mountain with
I
I
was
was gonna mention
confused.
that
I was
with the
confused by that.
antlers.
I was confused by
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, like, we've seen them a couple of times at this point. I'm curious, I actually don't know, I really don't know anything about the Green Men.
I don't know anything either.
Uh, I don't know what the context is, like, from the books. But I think the fact that I think it's definitely clear that there's some kind of magic involved, I think, because, like, also, like, there's this sort of idea that Harrenhal is cursed, and we know that there's obviously magic in the world of Game of Thrones. But I'm actually curious about, like, because I feel like the show is setting up, like, the Green Men to have some kind of role, because they've showed them multiple times at this point. So I'm just curious as to what that's gonna lead to. I honestly, I have no theories about, I don't really know anything. I
yeah.
just think it's interesting to note that we've seen the Green Men a couple of times at this point.
There's not too much to go on, like theory
Yeah,
wise with them because we've only seen them here and there, but it's enough to know that they're going to be something in the future. We just don't know what, and you can't even theorize. They've shown just bits and pieces of them just coming and leaving, and that's really all we've seen. It hasn't been too much. So I don't really
right.
know. I got nothing to theorize on either with that. Um, I'm not sure. I don't know if they would want to go Team Rhaenyra or they would just add
Third
a
party.
completely third group to the story, and they would just attack both. Who knows?
It almost
It's a
feels
great
like they
question.
exist outside of the war. Like, I don't
Yes.
think that they would pick a team
What were
necessarily.
the
I think
small
they're just kind
people
of
in Game of Thrones called? The first ones, or whatever they were called.
the who?
The people who were helping Bran to get to the three-eyed
Oh,
raven. What were they called
uh,
again?
the children of the first
The
men.
children of the first men. I'm not saying I like them, but maybe something like that. Where they're kind of just they're in
Yeah,
their own
there's
little
some kind of
realm.
some kind of
Yeah.
magical component that's going on.
Yeah.
Um. Interesting. interesting stuff. We'll save the Ballad of Gold for we'll save the Ballad of
Yeah,
Gold
that'll
for
be the last.
last. That'll be last
How
with
about
questions and then predictions and stuff. Who have we
how
not
about
talked about?
What
the
else?
High
What
Tower?
else?
Sir Dwayne, is that what his name
All
is?
right, yeah. So
Dwayne.
let's go to Sir
Or
Dwayne
Dwayne.
and,
Oh,
and
are you
Darren. Let's go there. Maybe we'll hit up Rain
Is
as a
it?
little sheep stealer kind of a thing.
time out. Time out. It's Sir Gawain,
Sir, what did I say?
Who was saying?
Sir
I'm sorry.
not Sir Dwayne. It's Sir
Oh no, I
Gawain.
said
You're
Gwaine.
talking about.
Sir
Did it
Dwayne.
sound like?
Okay,
Wait, did
Sorry
you say
about.
Dwayne?
that's
I
my
thought you
bad.
said Dwayne.
Oh no, no, I said
I,
Gwaine.
I said
Maybe
Dwayne.
it
I
came
said
out
Dwayne.
like that.
You're
Sorry.
talking about Allison's brother, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about him.
Actually, yeah, we should talk about that scene with him and Kristen.
Scott, you want to start
Um,
off?
yeah.
So the scene is Sir Gawain comes in and he watches a knight fucking raping a villager, right? He doesn't
Yes.
like that. He
Oh
goes to
yes.
Cole, who's just painting his shield, and they have a conversation. And that's literally the entire
Yeah.
scene. Okay.
Right. But I think I think it's worth talking about because I think
Oh, 100%. I have something too. Yeah, keep it
that
going.
okay, so what I was gonna say is I think like they have that scene and Gawain is sort of talking about like he wants the rapist to be punished, right? Here's buddy. Um
Show my butties.
he wants
Cheers.
the rapist to be punished because Gawain is like what like I think it shows that Sir Gawain has a lot of idealism still. Like he still believes that he believes in like law and he believes in like the order of the realm, you know, like he believes in honor. He believes in I think he has some sense of morality. Um and juxtapose that with Kristen Cole, where Kristen Cole at this point, I mean, we know Kristen Cole doesn't really have much of a sense of morality. I mean, Kristen Cole is just a douchebag.
Yeah, we hate him.
Um, yeah, we to the listeners out there, this podcast is a very anti Christian Cole
Just Team Black in
podcast.
general.
Yeah. Besides the first episode.
Very pro Team Black, but it's interesting to note like Kristen Cole is like he has this very nihilistic view of the world in the sense of as we saw last season um in the battle
Rook's
of Rook's
Rest.
Rest.
Yeah.
You see that Cole is horrified by what he sees, right? Like he sees the dragons burning his army alive and he's just like I think Kristen Cole is just like what's the point? Like we're all just gonna die. Like
Hmm.
I think he has this very nihilistic view of the world because of the dragon. So when Sir Gawain comes to him talking about like, you know, kind of talking about honor and like the rule of law, Kristen Cole is just like, dude, look around you, dude. Like we're all gonna be dead soon. Like who cares?
Yeah,
You know? So
yeah.
it's
And like
kind of it's he has a very bleak view of the world at this point.
yeah, and Sir Gawain was just like, I'm not their Lord Commander. Like I need you to make a statement to the men that they can't be doing this to the villagers. But Kristen Cole just gave fucking two shits. He doesn't fucking care. So I mean, I think I agree with Sir Gawain. Like, there needs to be order, and then Kristen Cole just has no care in the world whatsoever for this specific situation. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. Almost everything you guys are saying. I saw something on Instagram today about Kristen Cole that I don't think I can find, and it was basically something like along the lines of like maybe it was on TikTok. It was like Kristen Cole's like so mad that Rainier would run away with him. It's like what did he think was gonna happen? That she wanted to go from being the future queen to running away and picking and selling oranges for the rest of her life. His life like what did he expect was gonna happen? But no, honestly, Joey said both of you actually, but Joey kind of took the words in my mouth, so I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't really got much else to say in terms of that. Like Sir Gawain sounds like he's still honorable, like he's still got something. He obviously could tell that Cole's fucking banging his sister, like he knew right away basically. But he Cole is just he's given up. Like I think he knows deep down that like he's soiled his white cloak, for something that wasn't real. And I think he's mad at Rhaenyra. I think he blames Rhaenyra for drawing him in and kind of losing his sense of honor. I think he always was kind of try to find that at first, and then
Yeah, which is
it's just gone off the rails now. Like he's seen, like you said, he saw Rook's Rest, and he is horrified, and like he still fight. I don't understand why he hasn't fully walked away, because maybe he's not fully over off the deep end, because he could just, like, I don't know, he could run back to Dorne, right? He could run back to
he.
anywhere. He could go where, I know he's
Yeah,
in Dorne, but he
I,
fought in Dorne and shit, and he could go back to where he came from, and I don't know,
he's
sail to
off.
Pentos.
He's off the deep end. I think that, and I think you'll. I think that we're gonna see more of that this season. Um, I think that Cole. I just think he doesn't really care if he lives or dies at this point. Like I think
Yeah,
he's
it seems like
just
he's
like,
suicidal in a way at points.
yeah, like that's why I use the word nihilistic. Like I
Yeah,
just think he just thinks that I I just think he just doesn't think it matters. Like he just thinks that, like, no matter, like, he's just like, well, I'm just gonna, you know, I'll just fucking fight to the death because I'm probably gonna fucking die anyway. I just think he doesn't care. I just feel like he doesn't really care. Like,
yeah.
he's got this sort of like you said, like he's sitting in his tent and he's like painting his
Yeah.
shield. Like he just has this very like n- bleak kind of outlook
TV
on this war.
Yeah.
It's just like he's
I
just
would
like,
hate to be one of
yeah.
his soldiers. I would hate
TV
it.
TV
Yeah,
time
like
for a second.
he has no compassion in him. Like he is completely like he's dead inside, I think. Like
Yeah.
he's dead inside. I think he
There's no
has
like
nothing
bloodlust. There's no like he
nothing
doesn't
to
want to.
give. Yeah.
He has no motivation to do like anything. I guess is the best way to put it. He has no motivation right now for anything.
And dude, fucking poor master, poor master, poor Grand Maester, fucking Orwell, whatever his name is, dude. Guy just
I
fucking
know.
sleeping,
Anyone's
almost
gonna
gets his
fucking chop his
fucking
head off, right?
head chopped off for fucking
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
They were like, "Where's he
Um,
gone?"
do you want to talk about those two? We're just kind of like, they really weren't anything of importance
I
because
want to talk about. Sorry, I'm gonna ask for the fucking fifth time. What was that guy's fucking name? I want to talk
Ooh.
about
Ormond.
Ormond.
Or
Yeah,
We'll start with Darren and Ormond. So Scott, you could start us off on
yeah.
Ormond and Darren here. Your thoughts on that whole scene and just about those two characters specifically.
yeah. So, really, what I wanted to say about that was, this is the scene with like the whole messenger and everything, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I
He gets
feel
the
like
note from Allison
yes, yes, aka like
pretending
yeah, to be the
pretending to
king.
be the king. Yeah.
Yes. I feel like I want to mention like there was like on the actual like note itself, there was like some sort of like black marky touch or like this like dust. And he like they made it a point to like kind of like he like felt his fingers like this. He's like, like, I wonder if that's like a little thing from like Allison, like a little hint that's coming from her,
you
not the
think a
king. Like
hint?
I'm not yeah, I don't know. Just
But
like
so do you
I
think?
didn't I didn't even catch I didn't
My
catch
question
that.
is, do you
Yeah,
think
I
that
don't know.
she is giving this guy a hint that it's really her talking, or do you think it's more of a tip that he's being tipped off by that? Like he's seeing that and being like, maybe this isn't from the king.
I think it's a little bit of both. I think
A little bit
Allison's
of both.
purposely putting that there. I'm trying to. I'm at the episode right now. It
I
looks
don't
like
think
it's
that's
just like
true. I
this
don't
like
think
black
she
dust.
purposely did it. I think she did it by a mistake, and I think he's thinking something's up. That's
Yeah,
what
like
I
I'm
think. I
not.
think he's like, why
Yeah,
would the king have it? Like this is kind of shitty. Again, I don't really know. I'm just saying he did look
yeah,
a little
I think
sus when he was putting it away, and he like they made it very obvious when he was looking at his little fucking
yes,
really?
fingers.
yeah. I think that's
I didn't
what I'm trying to point out. Yeah,
yeah, I guess I didn't catch that.
Oh, I caught it
I
the
didn't really
first
think
time right
too
away.
much
I was like, dude,
into that.
something that he doesn't like. I think he's not gonna end up staying there. I don't think he like. I think Darren's a little whipped. He doesn't look like he's very confident. He looks kind of looks like he's just been whipped into shape. Not really much of a. He's also like what? He's like 14 or something like that, probably 15. The kid,
Yeah, so Darren so
no silver
Darren
hair.
no, another dark-haired
Another dark
Targaryen.
haired Targaryen. He does have the
Historically
he does have the blood of the dragon, but he's not.
historically, dark-haired Targaryens does not go well. Um, I think that well, so what I was gonna say was, so Darren is Ormond's squire.
Yes,
That
correct.
yeah.
I just don't know what
So,
Ormond is to the because he's a high tower. Ormond.
yes.
What
So
my question is,
Ormond,
what is he to Allison and Darren?
I believe we can fact check this, but I believe Ormond is
Cousin.
Alicent's nephew or cousin. No, actually, I think you're right. I think he's a
He's a
cousin.
cousin.
We
I
can
think
look
he's a
that up.
cousin. Yeah.
He's the
Let's
nephew
look
of
that up.
Otto Hightower,
Oh, wasn't
cousin of
speaking of
Allison.
Otto, where the fuck's
So
he?
he's Otto's nephew.
That's another good
Okay.
question too. But sorry, keep
Yeah,
going.
he's Otto's nephew.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Ormond,
what
I
I made
will
the
say,
assumption.
Ormond is Ormond's a major player
Yeah,
in this
you
war.
could tell he's got some
Yeah,
fucking. He
he's
looks
a
like a
major player.
cocky little fuck. He looks like a
Yeah,
cocky little fuck.
yeah.
I'm
His
not gonna lie to
armor's
Ormond
you.
sick
is
though. His
definitely a
armor's sick.
significant character. So,
He's giving me
and
fucking.
that actor, I think his name's
You seen the movie Michael B. Jordan? He's the like one of the devils or the whatever they call them, the vampires in that movie. Michael B. Jordan. He plays two
oh,
people. What's
really?
that movie?
Oh, Sinners?
Sinners. Yeah, I think
Sinners?
he's one of the bad guys in that movie.
His name's James Norton. I think if that
Something
Scott
like
fact
that.
check that.
That's
I
got
know
fact
him
checked that.
from House of Guinness, which is a Netflix show about the Guinness family.
Yeah, James
Yeah,
Norton.
James Norton, yeah. He's a great actor. Um,
Yeah, I'm not gonna like this guy. This guy is giving me Mason
but yeah,
Ramsey fucking vibes.
Ormond's an interesting character. Like, I think he's gonna be
Ramsey
an
Bolton.
interesting
Ramsey Bolton. What did I
addition
say? Mason Ramsey. What
this
the
season.
Mason Ramsey? The fuck did I say?
Mason
I
Mason
was talking about fucking Ramsey Bolton. I
We're
said
not talking
Mason
about
Ramsey.
Mason Ram who is Mason Ramsey?
I
Wait,
exactly. I
yeah.
know, but he's fucking made up
Oh, no,
name.
I'm thinking of Mason Rudolph,
Oh,
friggin'
Jesus.
quarterback.
Let's reel it back in here.
Let's reel
Reel it back in.
reel it in. Cast the line, reel it in. Right?
Yeah.
Um,
Because you do see
yeah.
Daron's dragon the end of season 2 flying, right? He's not
Who is
huge.
Darren Drake?
Uh,
Daron's dragon. I got you. Daron's dragon is Tessarion. Did I might not pronounce that right? Tessarion.
Okay.
Like if you do the math, it's potentially 9 against 3 dragons. Squeezing this in,
Yeah, I
like
mean,
you
listen,
got Cyrax, Karaki,
yeah.
Sea Smoke, Moon Dancer, Vermithor, Silverwing, Tyraxes, Storm Cloud. Sheep Stealer's a wild card right now because we don't really know.
yeah, we'll talk
She's
about
wild,
that.
and then it's just Vagar, Dreamfire, and Tessarion. Now, obviously, 2 of the Black Dragons are fucking babies. Like they're not really in fighting
Dreamfire,
condition here.
Dreamfire, is that
That's
who is that?
Helena's.
That's
That's
Helena's
Helena's.
drink,
I
right?
think
Yeah.
she's a decent sized dragon too. Dreamfire. Like that's not that dragon's not some like small ass dragon.
Yeah.
Clearly, the blacks
It
definitely
definitely
have
seems like the blacks have the edge.
they have the edge in terms of in the dragon department.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay. Speaking of dragons, let's quickly talk about Reyna, and then
Yeah, we should
we'll dive
yeah.
into the whole
We definitely
Alan
need to talk
Corliss,
about
and then into the
Reyna.
Battle of Gullet then to the big thing, right? So we talked about everybody else. I'll start us off on this one. Reyna,
So she claims sheep stealer, right?
she
Yeah.
claims sheep stealer, which is impressive. But did she really claim? Like, is she really in control? I mean, are they really, as Viserys says, are really any of them really in control of the dragons? Or like, I don't really think so. I mean,
Well,
over
yeah,
the at
we
least
can
not the
talk about
inexperienced
that.
ones. I mean, you saw
We can
it.
talk about that more when we talk about the battle.
You had
But
Aemond. earlier on couldn't control Vagar. He fucking clips fucking what Araxes, I think is Lucerys' dragon's name or was.
Lucerys, yeah.
Oh, you saw it with a couple times throughout the episodes, but Rain is a classic case of just trying to do too much, like with the ball. Like you're just trying to make a play happen that's not there. Like it doesn't even exist. You can't make it happen. The fact that she even claimed the dragon is what you should have just stopped. You should have stopped. There was no reason for it. Like you hit the ball in the fairway and you couldn't be prouder. There's no reason to go to get it. You don't need to get on the green in two. You didn't need to do that. You just had to lay up. Just had to lay up, chip it on, you tapping for birdies
All you
and
had to do
call
was
it a
hit an
day.
iron.
But we didn't
All you
do
had to
that.
do
What
was
did
hit
we
an iron.
do? We tried to play it on in two. We shanked it into the woods, then into the water, and now we have a 9 on our scorecard. And that's not good. Exactly.
Raina tried to hammer a 3-wood when
Yeah,
she should have
it
just laid up with the
just
7
wasn't
iron,
good.
you know?
I loved I'll give Sarah a little feedback into it. Like I just when I was watching with her and she's just like, wow, this fucking girl is just I can't stand her. She's just so annoying and she's just like what is she doing? And then I was like I said to you before, like I was looking at her thinking to myself like she has no idea what this bitch is about to fucking do in about like 40 minutes. Um
She
I
already
don't
wasn't
hate
likable.
Reina. Like I don't she's only like 14. Like I
Yeah,
understand like what the
young, very,
mindset
very young.
was, but that was a tough look for the brand. And I mean now she's flying off to God knows where now, and they think she's an enemy. Like they think that they don't think that the blacks don't think that that's one of theirs. And the only person that knew that is fucking 600 fucking 50 feet deep in the fucking ocean with 3 hours in his
They're
fucking
not a
chest.
Jace and Bela were
Because Bela didn't
not
know.
expecting
Bela didn't know that
they
that
were not
was
expecting to
Reina.
see
No, they
Raina.
No,
were not at
They
all.
nope.
But
yeah, they were
also,
not
like, yeah,
expecting
honestly,
Raina.
though, fucking Jace was gonna get clipped, fucking even if Sheepstealer was probably there anyways. Let's be honest. So, whoever wants to go next can say what they say about what they
Well,
thought about Reina.
so I think I'll jump in because I think, um, so this is Raina claiming sheep stealer. This is a notable departure from the book Fire and Blood. So in the book, a lowborn character named Nettles is the one that claims sheep stealer. So and sheep stealer outside of in the book, the Battle of the Gullet really doesn't. She's kind of she's just kind of a wild dragon who's just kind of out doing her own thing. She doesn't really participate much in the Dance of the Dragons. But it looks like what the show is doing is that they're kind of just merging Nettles' storyline into uh Rhaenys.
Reina's. Yeah,
Yeah. So it kind of
interesting.
looks like the show just kind of said, "Fuck you, Nettles. We're just gonna make it Rhaena." So that's kind of the context of that. But it does. I mean, I'll touch on it more when we get to the Battle of the Gullet. But it does change some things quite a bit. But yeah, that's kind of the context of Reyna and Sheep Stealer.
Mm. Yeah,
Got
I
it.
feel like I feel like with Reina and Sheepshead, I mean, it's just like just I guess the bond that they have is made to seem like very very wild. Like it's she I guess claimed sheep stealer, and then they went on a ride, did all this stuff, and then sheep stealer kind of dropped her off, and then brought a sheep, lit it on fire, and said, "Here, eat this." And they have some sort of bond going on. But I think it's meant to seem that it's still very wild. It's still very new. Um, Obviously, it's not something you would want to take into battle, which we'll get into. But you know, I think that's really all I can see right now. I think it's a very wild bond and friendship they have right now, and I don't think it's enough to go any more than that. You need to train the dragon. You need to create a bond with it, and really get that going before you can do anything else. So we'll get into that.
I th- I think that's a really good point that you make, Scott, because kind of like what you were saying before, Dill, when Viserys says back in season 1 that literally says that dragons are, I forget the exact line, but he basically says dragons are something that men should have never trifled with, right? Like, I think that that plays into Reyna and Sheepstealer in the sense, as you see during the battle, that she's unable to sort of command Sheepstealer because at the end of the day, dragons. They can't really be controlled, right? Like the
Dragons will be
dragons,
dragons.
right? They're these wild beasts. So at the end of the day, they're gonna kind of they're gonna kind of do what they're gonna do. So I think it just kind of plays into what Viserys was saying in the sense of they can't really fully control the dragon, right? Because the dragon is gonna react in a way that in certain situations, especially in battle, to where like they can't fully be controlled by man. You
I
know,
got you.
I think
Yeah.
Ready? The
so.
idea that we control the dragons is an illusion. They're a power men should never have trifled with. One that
Yeah,
brought Valyria's doom. If we don't mind our own histories, it will do the same to us. Well, that's about to happen. Another thing is
it's a
like when I was
fire
watching
line.
it, when the whole first bit happened with with Reyna, I was like, this is this classic case of just this bitch got no idea what she's doing. This isn't gonna work. And then she started flying, and after the dragon gave her the food, I was like, okay, like maybe. Then when they started to go to help, I was like, you know what, Raina, get the fuck in there. Like literally, like it's like a defender going up into the play, and then they just choke, and there's no one in the back. And the next thing you know, you're like, yeah, I could have saw this happening when I saw fucking sheep stealer fucking absolutely fucking up their own ships, and I was like, yeah, I should have probably realized this was probably what's gonna happen if she would not try to help. So
Yeah,
it is
like, I
what it
feel like
is.
me and Joey were, like, hyped at first, but then we were like,
I was a
"Oh,
little hyped.
no."
I had some faith,
Yeah,
but so
So
mhm,
Scott and I were watching the episode together
mhm.
virtually on Zoom, and we were like, "Oh shit, what? Damn, bro, rain is pulling up," and then obviously, things kind of went awry a little bit.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Oh shit, this is not going the way that Reina planned it was gonna go." You know?
So let's
Get the
let
Corliss.
let's start with
Orlis
before we get to Corliss, one quick thing. What were your thoughts on Lohar going into the battle? Like, what were your
going
thoughts
into the
about going
battle.
into the battle? Like, what were your thoughts of her? Really fast, and then we'll go into Corliss, Allen, and into the battle. Right
You
before
said
the battle is actually happening. What are your thoughts on just her specifically
Right,
as a
just on
character?
her as a
Yeah, just on her
character,
as a
like,
character. Yeah, yeah. I'm just curious.
go for it, Joe.
well, I think that, as we see her in season 2, she kinda comes across as this sort of, she comes across as, like, sort of your stereotypical, at least in movies, like, pirate, kinda,
Mm-hmm.
like, where she's kinda like, um, "Yeah, let's go sail the seas and let's conquer, everything and whatever," but I think that as we see the Battle of the Gullet unfolding, you kinda see that it's a lot more personal for her in the sense of, like, in her mind, Corlys and his fleet have been, sort of, pillaging and er killing her people, all these years. So that you see Lohar has this very, like, personal kinda rivalry with Corlys,
Yeah.
and that's why that's really her motivation for sailing, with Thailand. And she literally says to Thailand at some point in the episode, she's like, "You think I sailed here to fight for your king? Like, no, I don't care about your king and your war. Like, I'm here because I want to kill Corlys Valerion."
Yeah.
Like, so I think that she has um So yeah, I think it's personal for her, I think that kind of plays out, throughout the battle.
Scotty?
Yeah, I agree. No, I mean, listen, I mean, I think she's just the classic pirate. Um, pirates are known for just betraying alliances just all the fucking time. I think it goes to show, like when Mr. Lannister over here asked her and was talking to her about the whole plan and everything, and like Joey said, like she's here to to kill Corlys. She doesn't give a fuck about what he wants to do. She has one main mission, and that's to do that. And I feel like the fact that she leads the entire Triarchy fleet, and again, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but no, I'm really interested to see how the Triarchy fleet's gonna be affected from her death, but we'll talk about that and talk about that when we talk about it. But that's what I gotta say about her. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she's
Nah.
pretty cool, cool pirate.
I like it. I like her as a character, as short-lived as she was. She was a badass. We'll obviously get to the whole, battle scenes and all that stuff, but I think she was a cool character. It was a cool little thing that they had there. I mean, it's all Aemon's fault. I mean, they did, Allison warned him. I warned him you shouldn't mess with the shouldn't mess with the Triarchy, and what's
Yep.
gonna happen. They're wild cards, and look what happened. So, okay, great. Talked about her. Awesome. Um, to Corliss and Allen. So they're on the ship.
Mhm.
They're sailing. They get news from Rhaenyra that they want some ships, King's Landing, right? They need a little bit of support from the Navy. And then next thing you know, they're going and they're drinking, right? That scene, talking about quotes before, when they're talking and clearly, Corliss is trying to connect with Alan,
Mhm.
father to son. He's well, doesn't know fucking Laenor's alive, but he's lost all of his children. He's lost his wife, right? He's going into this battle. What like Bela kind of gives him a little bit of that little, little pep in it, a little kick in his ass, right? He becomes the hand. What is he really fighting for? You don't really like. He kind of starts to show maybe what that might be, but you don't really know for sure what's really going through his mind. He's talking to him. The one thing that really stuck out to me was they were having the conversation. He apologized, right, to Alan. He apologizes to him for, not, he tried to give him a life or whatever. And the exact quote, that Alan gives back to him was, "A life perhaps, but not a name." That fucking hit so hard. And you just like could see the look in his face, like,
Yeah,
obviously we'll get into the other parts, but that whole scene was, I don't want to say heartwarming, but just like you could tell there was
It's
a
heartbreaking, I
it
think.
it, it is
it was very
heartbreaking,
emotional. There's a lot
but
of
there you
emotion in
could
it.
see like before there was no connection between the two of them. Like the bridge was just non-existent, and it's
Yeah,
like you could start to see a bridge starting to form before they can even before the bridge isn't even there, let alone them starting to walk and meet each other halfway. So I think that was a very powerful scene, one of my favorite scenes. What did you guys think about the moments leading up? Then we'll go into the battle itself in terms of all the aspects of it. What were your thoughts on those moments on the ship leading up to the battle scene?
Go ahead, Scott.
yeah. I mean, I feel like just the exchange between them and the fact that Corlys is trying to connect with Alan is really like it's making us want more. At least for me, like I kind of want more of that father son connection that he's trying to like build. But also too, like fuck Corliss for everything he did to Alan and his brother. Like it's fucked up. It's a terrible reality they got put into, and then it's just it's tough on Alan's side. Like he's just trying to, I guess, trying to figure out how to kind of navigate this awkward relationship that they have right now. And I feel like building up to this battle scene, like they're still at a very like awkward stage in their lives right now. And I know it seems like Coral's is trying to build it back together, but again, like that quote you said, like it perfectly goes to show that Alan's just he's still just not at that spot that he wants to I guess, be together the way Corlys wants it to be. That's my take on it, leading up to the intense battle that we're about to get into.
Joseph?
Yeah, I think that's really well said. I think that um
Glazen Scott, I love it.
it's a heartbreaking scene because I think you see that Alan has a lot of resentment towards Corliss because of that Alan's a bastard and he kind of grew up without without a dad
A
and
daddy.
he's without an inheritance and um I think that but also Alan, I think you see that Alan, like, he wants a relationship
Mhm.
with he wants a relationship with his dad, but it's very conflicting because of, like I said, I think he has a lot of resentment towards
Mhm.
Corliss, and I think Corliss, in some ways, has a lot of regret in that. Um,
Yeah, especially about like his mom too, right?
yeah, so we don't really
We don't really
know
know much about.
much
I'm
about
assuming the mom's
Yeah,
his
DEAD,
mother.
dead, 6 feet
Uh,
deep. If I had to
yeah, I don't.
guess.
I forgot if they mentioned anything specifically like earlier
I
last
don't.
season.
They don't say
I forget.
really anything in terms of like they don't really say anything about her. That for the most part, like it's very very limited. But
Yeah, it's very
they
vague.
don't really like lead it in any direction. You just kind of make the assumption of since they don't really talk about her, and I mean, I don't know if they say her in a past tense. Like that was something I would, if I was wanting to know the answer, I would go back to when she is mentioned
Mhm.
and see how she's talked, like the exact verbiage. But it sounds like she's probably dead. If I had to
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, I
Um,
think
mhm.
it's it's interesting because you kind of see Corliss. Corliss is in this kind of sort of reflective kind of state of mind where he's like, see, Corliss is kind of like he's kind of in this sort of like reflective state of mind, and we know that he's very kind of concerned about his legacy
Oh yeah, big time.
and his social status. Um, and he's kind of like he's kind of sitting in his office, on the boat, kind of reflecting, and Alan is really kind of the one who's Alan, in some ways, is kind of the one who's, like, kinda commanding the fleet in a way. I think they both want a relationship with each other, but they both also understand, like, all the baggage within that relationship, you know? So it's a really it's a great scene. It really is a great scene.
Love
Yeah,
it.
it really is.
So
Do you think a quick side question before we get into the battle? Do you think yes or no question? Do you think that he cheated on Rainey's with these kids, or do you think that they were kids that he had before, like the Alan and Adam?
no.
So you think that it
Yeah,
was
yeah. No,
before while he was at sea or something,
no,
or what
no.
do you think, Scott?
Yeah, no, he had Corliss had these bastards.
Hmm.
So he was already
Yeah, I was gonna say he had him
married to
like a while,
Rhaenys
quite a
when he
while
had him.
ago.
Yeah. Yeah, on his, sea escapades, he had Adam and Alan.
And then met
Yeah.
Rainey's.
No, he was already married to Rhaenys when he
Mm.
had these
'Cause that's what
when
I
he
Oh,
was
had
thinking.
them.
I didn't.
oh,
Maybe it
oh.
was already mentioned again. I just didn't catch it. I was just curious. To
Yeah,
me,
well,
that's
that's
what
that
it made sound to be because I feel like it wouldn't
you
be.
see that
Mhm,
in last season when, Rhaenys has that discussion with Corlys before
mhm,
it I think it's in the episode I think it's in the Rook's Rest episode when Rhaenys dies,
gotcha.
when, she talks to Corlys about, like, when she says to Corlys, she's like, "I know who he is, like, I know who Alan is." Because if you remember, Alan is the one, Alan saved Corlys, right? Well, he pulled him out of the sea or
Yeah, like
whatever.
in season 2, yeah, he was one that actually
Yeah,
pulled him
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah, Rhaenys talks about that, and, she like so Rhaenys knew that, Corlys, had these
Yeah.
bastard children, and yeah.
Okay.
Let's get into the battle.
We're in
Let's get
so
into
the Battle of Gullet, obviously, most important part of this entire episode. Um, in terms of how it starts off, obviously we see that they're starting to at least break up, right? They have the whole army, the whole fucking navy, Sea Snake's fucking navy. They were what I think said it was 5 ships she was asking for to go to King's Landing, right? And then out of nowhere, there's fucking Triarchy fucking pull up, right?
Mhm.
And whole fucking shit fucking hits the fucking fan. Hits the fucking fan. Ships fucking collide. Next thing you know, there's fucking fire fucking everywhere. Fucking Lohar's fucking boarding ships and they're fucking maiming people. Fucking absolutely taking fucking ass, taking fucking names. And then there's fucking Corliss. What does he fucking decide to do? This guy says, let's fucking go right for the fucking bitch fist. They find him. Alan spots him, right? Spots the bitch fist, and they go right for her, right? What are our thoughts on the beginning parts of this scene, kind of how it all unfolded, I guess, leading up to, their little fucking meetup eventually?
Um, I feel like one key thing to point out is that Corliss, the second he get out of that conversation, and like the person up top, was like, "Hey, we see ships right now." Like,
Mhm.
and Corliss's first question is it the Lannisters or the Greyjoys?
Yeah, he was
And
shocked.
then they're like, "It's the Triarch." He's like, "Get my armor." Like,
Yeah, he knew.
this is
yeah.
about to be some fucking. This is about to
Hmm.
be some crazy shit.
Well, he knew it was a little more personal. He
Yeah,
knew it was
yeah.
personal for him,
For
Season
sure.
like
for
the
him, and for
Triarchy
them
got beef.
against them.
Yeah, yeah. Big beef. I think that's one of the most important things to point out at the start of this, because he's immediately like, "Get my armor. We're about to see some real battle right now."
Interesting. But scene starts. Obviously we slightly touched upon it, right? Obviously they get word to fucking Bela. Bela fucking lets the queen know. We kind of touched upon that whole little thing already about Lauren and stuff like that. Jason Bela obviously fucking fly out there together. Jace fucking horned up. Absolutely horned up, dude, for some battle. Inexperience. Bela, obviously too. Bela, I think Moon Dancer's a little bit bigger, I think, than Vermax. They go out there and fucking everyone's cheering like, oh, we got a fucking chance out because they were outnumbered. I don't know what the ship count was, but they were outnumbered though, right? Fucking Sea Snake and their fucking navy were outnumbered.
Mhm.
So they fucking decide to, or he decides to take out the fucking bitch fist, right? He's like, I'm gonna fucking outwit them. What do they call it? The Dragon Pass, I think it was called, or something like that. The little fucking inlet thing that they fucking
Yeah, like the
sail
little
through.
yeah,
Yeah.
the little
Yeah.
alcove.
So
Yeah.
they sail in, right? And next thing this fucking guy Corliss, Jack Sparrow type fucking shit, Captain
Yeah.
Barbosa type fucking shit,
Let
dude.
me
Yeah.
take the
Let
fucking
me
wheel.
take the fucking wheel, dude.
That's
Literally,
right.
literally take the fucking wheel. They had no faith in him, dude. I think I also thought it was out. Maybe it's just me because like I love Pirates of the Caribbean, like I love games with like ships and stuff like that. And I don't know, I just find it always fascinating as a history guy. Dude, seeing them, like, the guy in the crow's nest fucking calling shit out, dude, they got the guy with the rope is fucking judging how deep that they fucking are and
I
shit.
thought that was so
It
interesting.
was just the whole
I
thing was
love that part.
awesome. Lohar is
Corliss
just dead set on revenge.
Corliss was driving the
Yeah, he
shit
was
out of
driving
that
the ship.
boat.
Oh yeah.
Lohar's fucking going after them. Fucking Thailand is fucking absolutely losing his shit now because he already saw it before
Yep.
that his plan got shot down. She's basically just said, like, we're not fucking here for anything but this guy. Then next thing you fucking know, fucking somehow Corliss fucking makes it through. This motherfucker makes it through. And now Lohar's fucking losing ships left and right. Fucking tosses Tylen's bitch ass off the fucking
Tosses
ship.
him off.
Yep.
Tosses
See
him
you
off.
later.
They
Yeah.
killed all the
Quick
Lannisters. Oh
question,
yeah.
yes or no, and we'll keep going with this whole thing. We'll backtrack and I'll talk about what we thought about like this whole up to this point. You think Tylen's alive, yes or no? Scott, go first.
I would say no.
Mm,
The
think Tylen's
weight of
dead.
that armor, I think,
Think so?
is
Okay.
a lot.
Okay. Joseph, you think so?
Um,
I think Tylen is still alive.
Think he's alive? Okay, I agree. I think he's still alive. I don't think remember, it's not that deep. They're not all they're not, like, super deep where they are. I think he survives. So, that whole scene was obviously badass. Any comments up until the part where before they meet up, right? Before they collide head on and all hell breaks loose. Any other comments about that? Anything leading up to that moment for either of you guys?
I think you can tell that like she's definitely struggling with at least like the path they're taking through the what was it
Lohar?
called again? Dragon Pass?
Something
Yeah, low.
something like that. I don't know what the
It
hell
was
they
something
called
like
it. I
that. Yeah,
forgot.
Yeah.
the little Inko. She was obviously struggling. Corliss definitely had her in that specific situation.
Mhm.
Ships were driving up to land, sailing into land, shit. Um, I think this is definitely Corliss's territory, and I think Lohar was a bit she kind of had to figure out on the fly of how to actually deal with it and catch up to him because she wants him fucking dead. Like she has the motivation and she just she has the bloodlust to just fucking she wants to end his fucking life.
I think
And
vengeance was
she's gonna
clouding
do
her
whatever it
judgment,
takes. She's gonna do whatever it
honestly. I
takes.
think the
Mm,
vengeance was really clouding her judgment
yes.
there a little bit. Joseph, anything to add?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that yeah, yeah, I think as Scott was saying that uh Lohar is just really focused on just on killing Corliss at this point. Like she
Yeah.
really doesn't care about
Anything else?
Lohar does not give a she does
Literally.
not give a shit about the political ramifications of Dance of the Dragons. Like she's out there for revenge and she just wants to fucking she wants to she wants to hurt Corliss's legacy by burning his castle, and she just wants to take him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Wants
quick
him dead.
thing I wanted to mention, I passed upon. Dude, when she fucking clips Vermax with the fucking spear rot, that whole contraption was awesome. Dude, when she's
Mhm.
like,
Like
fucking call
the
me.
precursor to the scorpion, right,
Yeah.
that we see
When
in Game
she's
of
just
Thrones.
like, call what she says, call me Lohard, like Dragon Slayer or something like that. That whole little scene. I mean, a little like, I mean, she hits that fucking shot first try. What do you,
Yeah. And
fucking TV show?
she hit the saddle, I think, right? That was
I
the
think,
first shot?
yeah, I think she hit the saddle, like nicked him, and then, dude, Moon Dancer. I mean, obviously could do it twice, but dude, Moon Dancer and Bela comes to the fucking rescue, fucking saves
Yeah.
Vermax. So that was the only thing I really want to touch. I thought that was sick. I love that whole scene. So now,
Yeah,
okay, so
definitely was.
now Corliss gets through, right? Tylen's thrown over, bitch ass in the water. Lohar loses. She starts dropping weight. She makes it through the pass, right? Two of her ships donezo. Now, fucking Corliss can't fucking believe it. He thought that he had her dead to rights, and he's trying to get his. And again, same thing, kind of like Damon. How when Damon thought like the Starks were fucking coming in, like he was ready for fucking battle. Like Corliss, like, all right, let's turn this fucking bitch around and let's fucking fuck them up. And then he sees his fucking Driftmark throne up in fucking flames. And now you're
Yeah.
like, dude, this guy lost his children. He lost his fucking wife. He's
Yep.
got fucking issues with his sons, his bastard sons. He's in the middle of a battle. He's probably in what his 50s or something like that. Old guy. Now he sees literally his legacy that he talks about all the time. That he built that place to what it was, literally engulfed in flames, surrounded by ships, with no one to defend it. Gotta feel for the guy. Love Corliss. Gotta feel for the guy. Alan fucking comes up clutch, and he starts fucking barking orders, and he really takes because in that remember that was something that Corliss was kind of telling him early on, like you got to be a leader, like you're my first mate,
Mhm.
like you got to be more vocal,
Yep.
and you got to like be an example, like stop like basically stop being a robot, basically, right? Um, bitch face is coming at them. What are your guys' thoughts on right before obviously they get fucking rammed? Your thoughts on fucking that whole little scene with Alan come up a little clutch there, like a little vice captain, alternate captain, kind of taking the reins when the captain's fucking down and out. And your thoughts on that little thing with Corliss?
You go first, Joe.
Well, yeah, so Alan kinda goes into game mode a little bit,
Yeah,
or he's like
crunch time.
especially where Yeah, like he's like we were talking about before, where he's kind of assuming the leader role of the ship, and especially like when we see Lohar ship rams Corliss and they start getting into the fight. I think what's really interesting about that scene is that you see and Lohar start fighting. Obviously, we have all that sort of personal sort of conflict that's kind of culminating into this fight. And Corliss gets thrown from the ship,
Hmm.
right? He gets thrown into the water, and I think it's interesting as we were talking about before, where Alan, even though Alan has all this resentment towards Corliss, he's still there's still a love for his father, right? So he sees Corliss get thrown, and Lohar is laying on her back, on thrown off on the broken part of the ship, and Alan goes right in, and he's like, because he's like, oh, like fuck you, bitch, you're not gonna fucking kill my dad, you
Not
know
gonna
what I
kill
mean?
my, not gonna touch my daddy.
Like, even though he has all this resentment towards Corliss, there's still a love there, and you see that in the way Alan fights, and obviously, they have have this fight, and then Alan, obviously ends up killing Lohar, but I think that was a really interesting. It just plays further on. There's sort of interesting family father son dynamic that Alan and Corliss have.
Yeah,
Scotty?
no, yeah, no, I think it's a great. I mean, a great way to put it. Honestly, it really goes to show that like even though Alan has this resentment towards Corliss, like it still doesn't mean he's not going to protect him with all of his life. Which he obviously did. I mean, he did the hand to hand with Lohar in the water up against the bottom of the ship. Like that was such a phenomenal scene. I loved every single bit of it. I mean, the choreography was freaking awesome. Um, I feel like but what I did really want to add before, like, just kind of to backtrack a tiny bit, the actual like on the ship of Lohar, they had that gigantic like I guess if like the ships here, they had like that
Yeah.
giant
Oh yeah.
battering ram.
Mm-hmm. That thing
Like
was sick.
they've done this before. They got the experience to do this sort of shit and ram into ships. I thought that was just like a cool part of her ship.
Another thing
Um, yeah.
I was just gonna add, not kind of what you both were saying, same kind of things. I'm not gonna touch on the same thing. Was Corliss when he was knocked unconscious and then gets back up and just starts fucking fighting. Like, and he just doesn't miss a beat. But to touch upon what you just said, Scott, when they're fucking ramming the ship, dude, there was this another quote that I really liked from her. That I thought was just badass. Was with they're getting closer, and she just like hold that course in fucking row. I thought that was just like that. Just like it got me like some goosebumps. Like, oh, we're fucking ready to go here. Like that was fucking awesome. And when they swing on, they like have the little whatever the hell that is, like those guys that swing on and just fucking start clipping the fucking closest fucking men once they actually collide. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I just thought that was just that whole little interaction to start off was sick, and then I mean, yeah, I mean, like fucking Alan clutches up, obviously. Um, before we go over swinging back over to the end, pretty much, right? With Jace, talk about that a little bit more. Anything
Mhm.
else in terms of way we felt thoughts on that whole little battle scene right there with Lohar and Corliss? Now that was they got hand and they, as you said, Joey, they got to a little hand to hand combat. They started fighting. Alan obviously kills her. She's fucking dead. Alan looks over. He can't find his daddy. Daddy's somewhere to be found. We don't really know. No way Corliss has got to be alive. Do we think he's alive? Yes or no?
Corliss,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think he was
Oh,
alive, Scott?
Yes,
Okay.
we kn-
yes.
I think
yeah we know that Corliss
yeah.
is alive
He's got to be
just based on
alive.
the trailer.
Did you watch
I didn't
the
watch it.
preview
I
for
I
this
usually
episode?
never
Oh,
watch
okay.
a trailer, honestly.
Oh, okay.
I
I
usually
might have
which
watched
but like
No,
I
Corliss,
didn't need to know that
yeah,
he's got to be out.
yeah.
Before
Corliss
we
survives the Battle of Gullet. That's not a spoiler. That's just a fact.
before just a fact. Before we go further, and then ramp up with thoughts, questions, etc., ratings.
Mhm.
Anything else up until Jay's getting hit the second time and getting clipped? Anything anyone wants to add about that? Obviously, we can always go back to, but anything else
Um,
in terms of this more specifically this scene, I guess.
yeah, yeah. I feel like as I was talking with Joey as we were watching it, it's really seemed like it really goes to show that like he didn't really have the experience to be in a battle like that because it's kind of
Jace, you're
like you
talking
get
about?
hit you get hit once, Jace.
Yeah,
You get hit once, by Lohar with the I forget what she called it. Um,
Whatever.
yeah, whatever.
yeah,
Just got hit by the arrow in the saddle, saved, and then you go ahead and you fly low again. I understand he was trying to
yeah.
escape from Reyna and stuff, and I think it's just the fact that I think Jace just wasn't prepared to be in this battle. And just him flying low like that and him just not rather just escaping and just, this is going into more like tactics and stuff,
Hmm.
but I feel like it goes to show that like he really just didn't understand just like the basics of, not flying too low with these arrows. I mean, I feel like I was getting so fucking pissed just being like, don't fly so goddamn low. Get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
You know what that's like? It's like in football when you got a quarterback, he throws the ball late over the middle. You get away with it once, a little tip harmlessly falls off to the side. You're like, okay, no big deal. You do it a second time. That ball's getting picked off and housed. And you're going back to the bench and you're getting the earful from fucking head coach and the OC in your fucking headphones when you go back. In this case, you're 6 feet deep in the ground or in the ocean. In this case, actually, um,
Well, this is I'm glad you brought that up, Scott, because this is one of my gripes as a book reader.
oh yeah, we were talking about it earlier. Yeah.
Um, so like in the show, Jace kind of comes across as, like I said, he
Fuck is that?
kind of comes across as this sort of horny, comes across as this sort of horny for battle, and
Yes.
Horned up.
yeah, he's just kind of like he's just like making like kind of, you know, a little bit of irrational decisions, I feel
15-year-old
like.
who discovered Pornhub.com.
But I yeah, I think I think that's probably right. Um, I think it's important to kind of set the stage for the context as far as the books, right? As far as the book Fire and Blood, right? So in the book, we saw at the end of last season that Rhaenyra sends her two youngest sons, Viserys and Aegon, off with Rhaena, right?
And
So
Joffrey, right?
she's
Too? Is Joffrey with them?
and Joffrey,
I think Joffrey's
maybe.
with them too. I think he's
I
got
don't
where else would
remember.
he be? Yeah, he's with them too.
Regardless, the
Yeah.
point
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Rhaenyra sends her youngest sons off to Essos, right? Because she doesn't want them to, kind of get caught up in this war, right? They're
Yeah.
too young. So in the book, Viserys and Aegon are on their way to Essos, and they get caught up in the middle of the Battle of the Gullet. So so
Mm,
they're on their way, and the Battle of the Gullet breaks out, and they get caught in the middle of it, right? So in the book, Jace, the reason that Jace is flying low is because he's looking for his brothers. Like he's trying to save his brothers, so
oh,
it's very noble. He's kind of
yes.
trying to protect his brothers.
I see that.
And
That's
that's what I think kind of makes it
yes.
so heartbreaking, is the fact that Jace is, he's trying to protect his brothers, and obviously, he ends up dying from that.
Mm,
And in the show, it's kind of just, in the show they make it, because obviously Raina comes in on Sheep Stealer and kind of fucks everything up
yeah.
because she can't control Sheep Stealer, and like Bela and Jace are thrown off because they're like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is Reyna
Yeah.
doing here?" You know?
That's a mistake,
And
though. That's the inexperience, not being able to expect, something out of left field. You gotta be expecting that.
right,
In a way, you never not knowing if a dragon could be inbound too. Like, how
right,
how
and
would that not have
also
crossed their mind? How did that would that have not crossed? That wasn't even discussed.
Bela Bela and Reyna aren't even present at the
Yeah,
Battle
you were
of the
saying that.
Gullet in the book. So in the book, it's Jace, the Dragon Seeds. So it's actually Ulf, Hugh, and Adam, and also Nettles, who in the book Nettles, this lowborn
Yeah.
character, claims Sheep Stealer.
Okay.
So they kind the show kind of it appears that they merged Nettle's storyline into Reyna. Um, so yeah, so the context of the battle is a lot different in the show than it is in the book. But I think that like so back to Jace, like the way that Jace dies is the same. Like
Mhm.
he's flying too low and he gets caught, and he ends up getting
Flip.
clipped. But the context is a little bit different. So I think I just wanted to
Yeah.
share that.
No, I love that. Listen,
No,
that's
I mean
it's good
that's
context.
I would love that context in the show, honestly, or at least some
So,
sort of hint as to why he was doing that. But yeah, continue though.
um,
Yeah.
but last thing I wanted to add, and before we go into the just the last little scene of Jay's dying. Dude, that hit so hard when Alan called him father, like when he was like yelling out father, father, like calling out his name. That just
Yeah.
like, again, came full circle.
Oh, emotional.
Bridge has been
Goes back
created.
to what we were saying
He's there.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really hit.
Right.
Jace flies low again and clip. Absolutely gets clipped again. And this time Moon Dancer, Bela, cannot save him. Exactly. Could, could not could not save
See you
him.
later, brother.
Yeah, and dude, just
Get clipped.
it was, when I was watching Vermac, because when he got hit the second time, like just straight up going into the battle, I thought Jace was gonna die. I thought Jace. I was like, someone's dying in this. This is something's gonna happen. I did think Jace was gonna die. And when he got hit the second time, I said, "Yeah, Moon Dancer ain't saving him a second time." And when she missed, not really missed, but like she just, I mean,
She
what was she really
tried.
supposed to? She
To
did
She
Bela's
try. What
tried
was
credit,
she
she
to
supposed to
tried.
do?
and hit
Yeah.
it.
And when Jace gets clipped, I was like, "Yeah, he's done." And when he's now Vermax is in the water, and he's telling Vermax, Valerian to get up, keep flying, keep flying. Vermax just did everything he could
Cooked.
and dies. Gets, obviously floating in the water. He really can't do much about that. Jace unclips himself, breeze up, and I'm thinking like, oh, maybe he'll get clipped, gets hit with the arrow, and I was like,
Yep.
oh yeah, and I was like,
Finds that one little
you know
plank.
what? Honestly,
Yeah.
that's kind of. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying that the character deserved that, but the way he was acting, just it's not surprising that that's how it happened. And I felt for Bela because I mean, I just maybe because I like her as a character, and I was like, she was supposed to be the queen, the future queen, right? Her and Jace were gonna rule together, and I felt for her again. Another, she's really well. Her last name is Targaryen. She's just technically Targaryen because she's
Mhm.
half Targaryen, half Valarian. Feel for her, like her mother's died, right? Her grandmother died. Rainey. She's um doesn't know about her sister, obviously, but you just saw your soon to be brother-in-law, really, Lucerys dies, right? And now you see Jace, who you just try to save, you miss. Not really miss, but you couldn't help him, right? You see him surrounded. She's getting fucking arrows getting shot at her left and right. She's getting they launched I think a big arrow, whatever the hell that thing was, at
Yeah,
her
there's
too.
like a fucking arrow
And
barrage.
she and
Really.
like
Yeah.
she made it a decision that like she could tell like Jace was done. Like and I'm not saying she abandoned him. She did the right thing. Like she had to dip the fuck out of there. Like and I feel for her, and I like when I saw Jace getting clipped. Like I didn't feel bad for him. honestly. I didn't really feel bad for I didn't really feel like Robb Stark dying. Like, dude, that
Oh my god.
crushed my soul. Ned Stark dying crushed my soul. Like like people, like certain people, like you feel for it. And for Jace, I just didn't feel for him, honestly. And I was like, dude,
Damn.
you like, I'm sorry, you kind of deserved it. Like the way your character was. Now, hearing about what it was in the book makes you think a little bit different, maybe about the character. But again, I can only see what my eyes see in front of me, and I
Mhm.
don't feel bad for him. He got clipped. I'm not saying I wanted to happen. It's not like
Cold
it's
hearted.
not like when you saw Littlefinger
Cold
get fucking
hearted.
clipped. Like you
Good
wanted that to
riddance.
happen. When you
Yeah.
saw Mason Ramsey, apparently Ramsey Bolton get fucking clipped by the dogs, clipped by John. Like you wanted that to happen.
Yeah, he deserved it.
Jace is somewhere in that middle where it's like watching some random guy die in a battle, and you're like, oh well. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was for me. So
Yeah.
what
Damn.
do you guys think?
I mean, that's a little. You're like the Tin Man out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Cold-hearted.
Yeah, I mean, I love a lot of
Cold-hearted.
characters. I felt for other
Um,
people, but him, I didn't really feel it. Honestly, I'm sorry.
maybe that's a fault of the show.
And
Maybe.
like I said, hearing
Um,
about the book makes me like think twice a little bit about what I'm saying, and it's like I'm taking it with a grain of salt what I'm seeing with my eyes, but I can only see with my eyes. Like I only know what I've seen and heard so far. I haven't read the book, so that's the way that I
yeah,
look
I
at him.
think
And perceptions of people change and stuff. So
so. What I was saying was that what's tough to see about when Jace gets clipped and Vermax is in the water and he's saying Vermax rise fly. There's still sort of this kind of arrogance to Jace to
oh
where
yeah,
and you kind of see it in his performance when he gets clipped with
it's
that first arrow.
performance.
He's like he's like kind of like holy shit, like I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Where he's like he thinks like Jace is sort of has this arrogance to where he's like I'm the blood of the dragon.
Hmm.
Like I'm above all this. Like there's no way I'm going to die right now. And
Yep.
then you see like, he loses his dragon and he gets shot with the arrows and he's just and that's it. It's over for him and I think Harry Collett, the actor, does a really good job with that performance. Where, he shows he's like, damn, like I thought, I thought I was gonna get out of this, but it, I'm done. I'm clipped, dude. I'm fucking cooked out here. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Insert bacon emoji.
It's really heart. It's really heartbreaking. I'm really interested to see um like how Rhaenyra is gonna kind of respond from all the fallout
And just
from the
like react
Battle
to
of
it.
Nolan. Because I feel like Rhaenyra is gonna like obviously Rhaenyra is gonna be mourning Jace's death because now listen, at this point she's lost Lucerys, she's lost Jace, and but I also feel like she's gonna have a lot of resentment towards Bela and Rhaena because
Interesting. Okay. I like Balo part. I
yeah,
understand, but not the Reina part.
well, the Reyna part, I think, is I mean, like, she basically charged Reyna to, like, protect her sons, and then she just
Oh,
kinda went off
yeah,
and
you're right.
claimed
Actually, I see where you're coming from
Sheep
now.
Stealer and went into battle
Yeah.
and, inadvertently contributed to Jace's death.
True.
Um,
Yeah, you're right. Honestly, yeah.
I
Couldn't be
just
more
I
wrong.
just feel like
Couldn't be more
I
right. I
feel
mean,
like Rhaenyra's mindset I think this is gonna as we sorta look ahead, I think that this is gonna affect Rhaenyra in a way where I think that she's going to really, she's gonna be bloodthirsty, I think, and she's gonna I think it's gonna affect some of her, decision making going
Definitely.
forward that I think could lead to some problems for Team Black.
Yeah,
okay,
definitely. I
Scotty,
agree.
your thoughts on this part of the this little last part of the show before we go into the
Yeah.
little end here. Kind of the wrapping it all up, final thoughts,
Yeah.
ratings, and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
So yeah, I feel like what makes it very sad, at least for me, is that, like you said, I mean, the actor did an excellent performance in that entire death scene, and I feel like the face he makes and the emotions he goes through, not even emotions. I feel like everything happens so fast, from Dragon getting shot, Dragon going down, unclipping, rising up from the ocean, and then just getting shot and dying. There was no time to react and even feel emotions. And I feel like the actor did a good job, like portraying that, everything happened so fast. He got shot in the back, turned around, sees a ship, and then chest, neck, dead. I feel like he did a good job not even being able to show any sort of emotion. Yeah, I'm just curious. I don't even know like what he would be like thinking in that moment. I feel like that's what's what like makes it sad for me, at least. But I agree with Joey. I think the impact on Rhaenyra is definitely gonna impact her decision making, especially since she had this entire plan of invading and everything, and now all this shit's gonna fucking hit her. So really, really curious about what's gonna happen. So I'm excited for episode 2.
Awesome. So now that we've wrapped up kind of dissecting, we went over all the characters throughout this whole thing here. We went through, a couple of different things too. I have some questions that I came up with. I don't know if you guys have any questions, things you want to talk
Mhm.
about. Obviously, we can go one at a time and stuff. First thing, which we kind of touched upon earlier, was kind of what I asked. How was Rhaenyra going to react, especially once that door gets opened? Fucking Sir Lauren, I said he might fucking get his head absolutely chopped off. I think she's gonna be very untrustworthy of other people. She's gonna become very closed off, kind of. I think we're gonna start seeing a little bit of a Daenerys type of an ascension here, kind of a thing. Because even she said it where she's like, my own Queen's Guard are locking me in my room, basically. My own son is going behind my back. Obviously, her and Damon go back and forth, and there's been some disconnect there before. You already seen how Damon's response is when something negative happens. He just goes to war and starts fucking causing chaos. So she also, you had Sir Alfred Broom, fucking traitor, fucking redcoat, fucking goes to talk to Damon last season and
Mhm.
tells him you should be the fucking king, and he dips when fucking Damon fucking gives fucking Rhaenyra the fucking armor from the Riverlands, right? He fucking dips. He's probably gonna go fucking hang out with the Greens and shit. So you've already seen
Yeah.
multiple people, like obviously some worse than others, but you've seen a lot of betrayal already on it, and Allison too. You're gonna see that very soon, where she's gonna be showing up at the King's Landing, and she's not gonna be expecting what she thought she was supposed to be getting.
Mhm.
So there is a lot of discontent there on that black side right now, and I feel like, as crazy as it sounds, I feel like kind of like how they said like the only thing that take down the house of the dragon is like the dragon itself. Is like I feel like they're starting to crumble from within. You have a lot of wild cards and Ulf and Hugh and Adam. You don't really know what's going on. The fleet's been destroyed. A couple of their dragons are babies. You got Rhaena's off in fucking buttfuck right now doing God knows what with Cheap Stealer. She's got a couple young kids. There's a lot of concern here. Like, if I was a betting man right now on Team Black, there would be a lot of concern after this battle. Like, it's like you didn't lose anything, like in terms of the war, but like you took a hit, took a hit on the chessboard. You lost a castle. You lost a knight. You lost a bunch of pawns out there in that fucking battle right there, and you
Right.
already saw like she's very wise. Showing restraint earlier on, right? But you saw, like, Allison went over and she just makes up her mind and goes with it. You know what I mean? Like, she does think and ponder sometimes, but she thought with a lot of emotion when she decided to go to King's Landing. Like, she didn't really sit there and plan and talk about it with you know, her counsel and really think about, like, was this the right course of action for her to take to go out and do this? So I think there's a lot of concern over there on the Team Black side. Am I happy that I am backing Team Black? Yeah, because the Greens are a bunch of fucking feet fetish, incest, fucking. I mean, they both are incest, but you know what I'm putting down here. So there's a lot of concern over there in Team Black. Um, a random
Well,
question. I'm sorry, keep you go.
Well, I just wanted to say, I think you made a good point about this battle. The battle, may have been won, but at what cost, right? And
Yeah,
I think that
Thanos.
that
What did it
is
cost?
important. Yeah, but I think that sort of speaks to kind of one of the themes of the show is that war obviously war comes at a cost, right? So I think in the, if you're looking at it just sort of from a macro perspective, like Team Black, like, quote unquote, "wins" the Battle of the Gullet,
Mhm.
but did they really win, right? Because of what it cost them, right? I mean, Jace dies, right? And what kind of effect is that gonna have on Rhaenyra? Also, Team Black loses they pretty much lose their navy, right, in this
Yeah.
battle, so
Up in flames.
again, I think it just plays the theme on sort of the cost of war, right? To where, Team Black, they may have, they kill Lohar and they win the battle, but did they really win at the end of the day, right? Because not only do they lose Jace, but they lose a dragon, and Rhaenyra, obviously loses another son. And what kind of effect is that going to have on her? And what kind of ripple effect is, whatever decisions, Rhaenyra makes going forward, gonna have, on the rest of the Dance of the Dragons,
Well,
you
you could
know?
make the case that like the Greens didn't really lose anything. Like the Triarchy really wasn't anything of importance to them. Like they were using them too. They didn't get what that was they
Yeah.
what they wanted out of that contract. But like the Blacks lost a dragon, a prince. Most of their navy. They're crippled. They're injured. Their queen is in fucking disarray right now.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
lost like a Lannister.
I mean, sorry,
Like that
they
was
lost the Lannister
Right.
army, so that is something I forgot. They did lose the Lannister army. It kind of comes into a question that I had for you guys was which army do you trust the most right now? Like, do you like not Navy, forget the Navy, but in terms of an army, do you trust the Riverlands and the Starks with Daemon, or do you trust the High Towers with Cole?
Mm.
Go ahead, Scott.
I would definitely say the Riverlands and the Starks. I think that they're especially with Damon leading them, and Damon's a fucking he's been through his shit here and there, but I think in the end, especially when it comes to battle, like he is a leader. And I feel like he would be the one to be able to combine them. And the Starks they seemed very, very willing and they were like, I will literally die for Rhaenyra.
Take their oaths very seriously.
Um I think that kind of just goes to show, like I think especially with Cole, I mean this fucking guy is suicidal. I mean he has no motivation for anything. Fucking piece of shit.
Well, it's not just them too, though.
Um
Also, I mean, I guess you're right though. It's I
yeah.
guess the Cole. Also like the High Towers too. Like Lord Ormond,
Can't
obviously.
forget about Ormond.
Yeah, we can't think about him and Daron and the dragon that they have,
Yes.
and
And there's
obviously Vagar
the
too. But
15,000. Yeah. I think they said
um,
15,000, right? I think it was. Yeah. So they still got a lot.
Joey, got anything to add with that?
I think I agree with Scott. I think that I mean, you ask, like, whose army do I trust? I mean, like, I don't trust anybody, in this show.
Yeah, like the whole
I think
point, I
That's
that's
true.
just
guess.
the nature of Game of Thrones, but, like, I still think Team Black still kinda has the edge. I mean, they still have the dragon
Went from
seeds.
negative
They
450 to
still have
minus 170.
Yeah, they still have the dragon seeds. They still have, um, uh, Bela and Moon Dancer. They still have Rhaenyra. I mean,
9 to 3.
I I
That's
still think
well 8 to 3
yeah,
with wild card.
Damon obviously, Damon is very battle tested and has been successful in battle. I think the Greens have a lot of I think there's still a lot of fracturing on the Greens to where, like, you kinda have Aegon off doing his own thing. You have Aemond who doesn't really Aemond who's kinda figuring out how to be king and doesn't really know, what to do. Cole with this sort of nihilistic view as we were talking about before. But obviously, Ormond and Darren are some major players, but, yeah, I still think Team Black has the edge, but I think they definitely took a hit, from the gullet.
For sure.
Okay, I like it. So let's get into the dragons. I have questions about the dragons. So 'Cause I'm thinking of what is the possibility of Aegon getting another dragon? And I
Hmm.
know that they don't have any more dragon eggs, but like, what is there a possibility that Aegon fucking somehow ends up with Sheep Stealer? Or they have
Oh,
dragon eggs? Cyrax is he
A-
lost Cyrax, not Cyrax. What's
Aegon
his name?
is
What
Sunfire.
Sunfire? That's his name. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Is there a
no,
yeah.
possibility?
I think Aegon
Aegon's not
has no chance.
That he's got no
Aegon's not
chance. I
gonna
mean, I know he's a
he's
cripple right
not
now.
getting another
Just
dragon.
thought I'd throw it out there. But the real question I had: what do you think's the next dragon to get clipped?
Ooh.
What do you think's the next dragon that is going to get clipped?
Mm, obviously, I think in terms of dragons, the one battle that I really want, which leads to, I guess this is more just a want again, but Agar versus Caraxes.
Mm,
That's gonna be
that's a good
okay.
battle.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
no, 100%.
you already know that's gonna happen. I mean, I don't see a version of the fight that
Definitely
happened.
appears that there's, like I said, you know, having read the book, but also not knowing how much of that really matters at this point. It definitely appears that there's going to be some sort of confrontation between Aemond and Daemon
Yeah,
at some
heavily
point.
hinted.
I think
Okay.
that was.
Um,
I think that
if I had to say though,
that's
I
building.
think
Yeah,
yeah,
one dragon.
I
Tell me just
think
one dragon you think that goes next. What do you think? What dragon do you think it is?
let's say sea smoke.
Sea smoke. Okay, Joseph.
Sea Smoke is Adam's dragon, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
With Darren, Darren's dragon.
Think Darren's dragon. I think it's
Yeah.
Vermithor. I think he's the next one to go.
Vermithor,
I do think it's a
huge
dragon
dragon.
seed. I was between Sea Smoke and Vermithor. I think those are the next two to go. What do you think if and we did talk about it earlier, I think kind of a little bit. If you had to pick one person with the dragon to become a traitor, which one do you think it was? What would be?
Ulf.
You think it'd
Yeah,
be
Ulf,
Ulf? Ulf?
Silverwing and
Yeah,
Ulf.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
going with Ulf.
Ulf.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
for sure.
and
Easy.
whatever dragon he has.
So
Yeah.
I'm just
Silverwing,
thinking
is that what it is?
Silverwing is
Is it
Ulf's.
Silverwing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's Ulf's
Silverwing.
dragon.
Ulf and
Um,
Silverwing are
just
not to be trusted.
it just would really be interesting. Like I thought about it before Damon like kind of like reaffirmed his status with Rhaenyra. I was like, I really wonder how this war would have turned out if he chose to fight for himself. And like this was like a three-headed race. Like
I think that
Damon, Rhaenyra, and Aegon or slash Aemon or four-way. Like if Aemon and Aegon were split and Rhaenyra and they get four of them. I mean, just throwing it out there, I was like, you never really know how things could change in this, especially with Damon. Damon's a fucking hothead. Could take one thing, he could be Nick. He sits there and he has that vision, right? That dream, whatever you want to call it, and he kind of thinks like, okay, like she belongs on the throne. But maybe when he finds out what happens, maybe it's not this, maybe it's something else that happens, right? Obviously, maybe they lose one of their children, and maybe he just like changes his mind, and he's like, you know what? Maybe I was wrong. Because maybe Viserys was wrong, and I'm supposed to be the fucking king. There's some kind of little riff there that kind of comes back full circle, and they kind of have a little bit of beef. I don't think so. Like if I had to guess, like I think he's gonna die for her. Generally, I think there's Damon is not getting out of the
uh,
show. He's going to die for Rhaenyra, is what I think. But would I be shocked if he changes his mind and he decides to fucking go for himself? I mean, maybe why not? Maybe you never know.
personally, I would be shocked if that
You think
happened
you'd be shocked?
because I
Okay,
think
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think that was the whole point. I think that ended up being the whole point
which is what I
of
agree.
you
I
know
agree. I'm just throwing it out
Damon's
there.
Damon's arc at Harrenhal last season. I think that ended up culminating
Sarah couldn't
into the
stand
fact
that.
that he has the dragon dream and he sees Rhaenyra on the throne and he has the visions of the future where he sees Daenerys hatching the eggs and he sees the White Walkers and I think the point of that in season 2 is that he realizes that this is bigger than him and that like I think that's solidified that he's no longer looking for the throne, and he is just full blown Imrynera at this point.
Yeah,
I
I
love
think
it.
I definitely agree that that solidified that specific dream solidified everything that Damon was going against Rhaenyra, and then having that dream and seeing all of that, like that completely solidified it for him.
Okay. So what are your guys' ratings? I'll start off. I personally, I thought it was like an 8.5. If I had to pick like an actual number. I made 8.5 to 8 point. No, I'm gonna go a little bit higher. I'm gonna say 8.9. I thought it was really, really good. I thought there was a lot of really good things. I don't was the best episode ever? No. Like I do think there was a little bit more like little things that turn me off. Obviously the Aemon thing turned me off a little bit. But I do think 8.9, 9.2. That's my range. That's my range right there. It really was a really
Nice.
good
It's a
episode.
high
Really,
score.
really did love it. Is it one of the best episodes of all time? No, but thought it was really good. I'm usually pretty critical, so I'm gonna say final answer 8.9.
Nice.
Scott,
I would definitely say a solid 8.5. I think
8.5.
it was a great episode to start the season. I think we got plenty of action, and I think everything that people wanted from the last season, they just started off with a bang in this season. Um, Everything from the Battle of the Gullet to seeing everything going on with Allison and Aemon to Aegon and Laris, and just bouncing between so many characters and so many important sequences that we needed to see for the upcoming actions of events that's going to be happening in the future. I think it was a great first episode, so I could definitely give it an 8.5.
Joseph,
I'll give it an 8. I think I agree with what you guys said. I think it was a very good episode. I think it was a really good way to start the season. Very action packed. I really personally I really love the sort of inter-character dynamics, between Allison and Aemond and Corlys and Alan. I really liked, a lot of the sort of character stuff that was going on. Um But I think there were a couple of changes, from the book that I think would've I think there are some of those changes I think that were better in the book than it turned out to be in the show, but also, I understand that shows change things and, it's a different medium, so they have different, restrictions that they have to go with, but overall, I thought it was a solid episode but yeah, I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. I think it was
cool.
solid.
I love it. So before we go, one more thing I have to ask, and then we'll quick little debrief for like 2 minutes, and then we can go. Who do you think is the next main character to die?
Mm, mm. You can go first.
You want me to go first?
Sure.
And that the next character to die is going to be I'm gonna go with Sir Gawain.
Okay,
Mm.
Sir Gawain Hightower.
I like that answer.
Scotty.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with my dragon answer you asked before. So I'm gonna be pairing Sea Smoke with Adam.
That's crazy. I was
I
Okay.
think
thinking
Adam's
like,
gonna
should I
take it.
pair my dragon? But I don't think it's gonna be a guy dragon rider. Joseph, I'm exactly with you, my friend. Sir Gawain. That was my pick. I think he's the next
Okay.
guy. I think he's the next guy to get clipped, whatever their next battle is.
I think I'm just
No,
I'm happy
Cool.
to be back in
Happy to be back.
yeah,
Westeros, and I'm looking forward to the next episode and
yeah.
the next
Hype for episode
podcast.
two.
Boys, it was a great first pod. Looking forward to the next episode that is really tomorrow. We'll start getting on a more regular schedule. And I'll hope you guys all liked it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know, your thoughts on our thoughts. Things that we said, whether it be dumb, smart, unintelligent, intelligent, mid. I don't know. Just let us know.